I know what your case is really worth. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
Who's cleaning your office building, medical facility, school, industrial, or manufacturing facility? Ever doubt that they're getting the job done when you leave the office? Stop worrying and reach out to the trusted local cleaning experts with a global reputation, Jani King, the king of clean. Make the switch today, like hundreds of businesses have already done here in the greater Baton Rouge area. And leave your worries at the door. Go to JaniKingCleans.com and find out how we can help. That's JaniKingCleans.com.
Jani King, the king of clean.
Hi, this is Ben McDonald inviting you to the one and only Louisiana Sportsman Show presented by Shell in Baton Rouge, March 1st through the 3rd at the Raising Cane's River Center. Same great show, new location. Vendors from Louisiana and other states on hand offering great deals on fishing and hunting gear, boats, tractors, golf carts, and much more. Get your buck officially scored at the Louisiana Land Bank's Big Buck Contest. Stay for Zydeco's hockey games. Plan to join the one and only Louisiana Sportsman Show March 1st through the 3rd in Baton Rouge.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
The Louisiana Outdoor Expo is back in Gonzales, March 15th through the 17th. It's the big show, and it's for sportsmen in Louisiana. Huge displays of boats, rods, reels, and hunting gear, plus tractors, ATVs, and outdoor power equipment, all at special expo pricing. Kids will love the Fetch and Fish Dog Show. The Louisiana Outdoor Expo, March 15th through the 17th at Lamar Dixon, and parking is free. Brought to you by Neighbors Federal Credit Union.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Monday, February 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 79. In hour one of today's show, we'll recap the LSU Baseball's weekend series at the Box and discuss some LSU basketball. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in. OTB, another week here with you fine and beautiful people. Excited for another week of Off the Bench. A ton to get to today as we are coming out of a very full sporting weekend, right? Bit of up and down results, some good, some bad. We'll get to it all. LSU Baseball, good on the whole, did drop their first game thanks to Alondra, but, you know, it's baseball. It's not that big of a deal. LSU women's basketball getting it done. The men, maybe not so much. And a mixed bag that was both a win and loss at the same time. We talked to Jay Clark on Friday. LSU Gymnastics goes on the road 2 games. Will put to their best road score of the year, nearly going over 198 on the road, but actually end up losing a bit to Florida. Kind of a weird bag, still a positive. The Pelicans, maybe one of the bigger disappointments over the entire weekend as they dropped not 1, but 2 games at home and now face a 2-game stretch in front of them. NFL Combine's coming up this week, which we'll get into. We got some news on Jaden Daniels in that regard. Shout out to all the mock drafters. Your Christmas season continues to roll right along. Taylor, did you do any more mocks this weekend?
I did not.
You're a freaking poser, dude. Yeah. Do you even mock? I thought, whatever, dude.
Like I said,
turn off his mic, Alondra. Turn off his mic. All right. Did I miss anything over the sporting weekend? Did I miss any results? I mean, I know there's anything like big local. There certainly is like EPL and MLS and all that stuff, but I mean like big local. Did I miss anything?
Couple things. One, don't hand wave soccer like that.
I'm not.
The second part of it, did Taylor say the YouTube when he opened up the show?
I don't know. Did you?
I thought he said
Nintendo.
D1045 ESPN YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say that place.
I don't know that you said 1045. I thought you just said the YouTube. I was like, are you 80? But maybe you did. Maybe I'm 80. Maybe I can't hear.
It does bear mentioning. Look, you sign on to the YouTubes. Okay, you go to youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Just get your keyboard out, and then you're going to hit like. You're going to hit subscribe. You're going to help us out. While you're there, go over to the OTB and OTB Saints, OTB LSU. All the coverage you need, it's right there online for you on the YouTubes. I love the YouTubes. Finally just did the premiums. Don't know if I'm going to stick with it. Just a month thing, but I don't know. Probably forget to cancel. You know how this stuff goes. So a lot to get to. Yeah, and then we have portal news as we always do because it never ends. Brian Burgess loves to give us our whatever day it is. Today's National Set a Good Example Day. Wow. It's like a very positive day. I'm into that. Also, I feel
like we could find a better one.
No, I think, look, sometimes it's like card design. If you're designing a competitive card game, not every card can be good. Yeah. Like you have to have subpar cards. You have to have cards that are okay, so then you can have great cards, right? That said, don't be disrespectful about a simple day that is basically just be a good person to others and lead by example. I think that's a great message, okay? Alondra, in your youth, what, you want something a little more spicy, a little more sexy? What do you want, like
but there's
National
not really...
Old-Fashioned Day, National Tequila and Soda Day?
I would like that, yeah.
Exactly.
I would love a National Tequila and Soda Day.
Speaking of cards, I saw a lot of Cajun Cannon cards over the weekend.
Yeah, where was that? Where did that picture come from?
I was at a card show at the Pontchartrain Center there in Kenner.
Oh, is that the same one you did last year? Is it that time of year again already?
I hadn't done this one before, but
okay.
I guess you were out. The day that you were out, or you left early, I think. We had the guy who was putting on the show, and got a lot of Cajun Cannon stuff. I'm talking about jerseys, cards, bobbleheads, starting lineup. I mean, Cajun Cannon was one of the stars of this card show. But there was so many kids with their like briefcases with Pokemon cards, like they were out there trading. And I'm talking about like not like 13-year-olds. I'm talking about like 7, 8-year-olds, like trading and like slinging cards and like talking to grown adults.
Yeah.
Like talking about the value of this, and I'll trade you, but I'll trade you for this. And like it was a hustle.
Do you all remember how extreme the Pokemon market got during the pandemic? Like we know all collectibles did. Remember the Paul brothers, one of them, I can't remember which one, was in a fight and he walked out. I think it was either with an Illustrator Pikachu or a Charizard in a case around his neck, because he had just bought it for $1 million.
Yeah.
So essentially, it was a $1 million chain they did on. If you're watching on the YouTubes, you see 4 pictures of the cannon signed.
Look at the Invaders card.
Yeah, Oakland Invaders, little USFL action. My favorite is the bottom right, the kind of confused Cajun mulleted perm. Picture has always been one of my old man's favorite cards.
I can't tell if that looks more like you or Bo, because I see both
that's
of
Bo.
you.
That's to me, that's my little brother to a T. Right there is what I see certainly. Shout out to the Cannon. Had a good time this weekend. He came by for my daughter's birthday and hung out all day. That was a lot of fun. Wait, so did you buy those, or you just took that picture?
I did. So I got one of those, one of the 4. Nice. I got the Invaders one.
Yeah, I mean that's the one. That's
the one
just
because I felt like it was rare.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
And the guy was like, hey, since you sat here, and I stayed a little bit longer because there was a little bit of a line, and so he's like, if you stay, like you can pick a card or whatever. Like joking, I was like, oh no, see, I want that Invaders card.
Hell yeah! So you were actually doing the signing, and then you hung around a little bit afterwards to earn yourself an Oakland Invaders Bobby Hebert card.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
dude. The booth next to me, there was a Mickey Mantle card that was, I think it was a 6.5 great on it. So not like the best, but still not the worst. Like a good condition. $250,000.
It's not is it the Mickey Mantle card?
Look, I don't know. And this case next to us, T-Bob, it had like
$250,000.
Yes, and they had like Jordan rookies that were $50,000. They had, I mean, so stuff like that. And there was people that were coming up and like trading other rare cards and then paying cash for the rest of the card. Like, hey, here's a card worth $20,000, and here's like $30,000. Like, it was wild. I'm like, we're in the Pontchartrain Center in Kenner, Louisiana, and this man's got like a case of money.
Yeah, that's weird. I've never really seen, I don't know if I've ever seen in my life anything where that amount of cash would be exchanging hands that casually. Is this the card?
I think it was
6.5, because this 951 from 1952 Mantle 2 years ago sold for $12.6 million.
Isn't it crazy though how
Shattering
like a 9.5 compared to a 6.5, like the difference in money, like $250,000, $250,000, ton of money.
Yeah,
but still, like just the value of the card. So kids, put your cards in sleeves.
Yeah, put them in. Yeah. Like everybody else, I just think about all those Pokemon cards that my mom's ended up throwing away. Ugh, so disappointing. All right, so where do you want to start? You want to start? You want to start with a little LSU baseball?
Let's start on a positive note.
LSU baseball, really solid weekend, 3-1 over the weekend. We talked a bit about the Thursday night game on Friday. Gage Jump getting it done. I would say this. Yeah, like Gage Jump is exciting. The staff as a whole is exciting. But I was thinking to myself, we're a bit remiss in that last week we barely talked about Luke Holman. And he easily had the best start out of weekend number 1. And once again, here in weekend number 2, he easily has the best start. And he's the guy that's already proven to be able to do it on this level before, right? So he was your most proven pitcher coming in. He seems like he's even gotten better. And now through 2 starts, just the other day, 7 scoreless innings, 77 pitches, hyper efficient, now 2-0. 12 1/3 on the year, no one runs in that 12 1/3, and 18 Ks. He's only allowed 1 extra base hit the entire year. Luke Holman has been everything that was advertised and then some. I'm going to be very interested to see if he gets that start Friday against Texas, or if they roll out Thatcher Hurd once again.
I'll give Alondra her credit here because she has been on him like before the season even started as somebody that she identified maybe being the best guy on this staff. So Alondra, I bet you feel pretty good about the situation right now.
Yeah, Luke Holman looks awesome, and he is as advertised, as promised, and I think he's probably the most consistent one that we've rolled out there. Yeah. Gage Jump is awesome. He is. But, I'm like, let's give Luke his which you are, and because he's, on fire.
Yeah. And for Gage Jump, it's still a situation where he's got to work.
Yeah.
Into a situation where maybe you can put him out there for 5-6 innings. He's not there yet. He's got incredible stuff.
Yeah.
So, right now, T, if I'm to guess, right now he would be the leader in the clubhouse if we're fast forwarding about 3-4 weeks down the road to be out there on Fridays.
Yeah, I would think so. Maybe, and you could argue that maybe some of the other guys have higher ceilings potentially, but
right.
I don't care about a ceiling until you're actually reaching it when it comes to getting my Friday night guy.
MJ said the ceiling is the roof,
I want my most consistent performer in that Friday spot.
Yeah.
And right now that's Luke Holman. It is so you've now played what? 8?
Yeah.
8
7-1,
games
yeah.
I'm thinking about 8 games in how many days?
10.
10 days,
yeah.
I think. And so what? You get a day off today where they're going to work out. They're going to practice tomorrow. Then it's right back to work Wednesday.
Versus Rice.
Against Rice. And then Texas on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
And then UL
First
Saturday.
taste of big-time baseball on the year thus far. No disrespect to the Seawolves, who Rivers was trying to talk crap texting us, after we were making fun of Mississippi State losing to Austin Peay. And I will say this, just from a purely phonetic standpoint, it's way more manly to lose to Stony Brook than it is to Austin P. Okay, one sounds tighter than the other.
100%.
And at least Seawolves sounds like a Game of Thrones house or something.
The Governors? If I'm not
get
mistaken?
the hell out of here.
No, that's weak.
Yeah, bureaucracy?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I like
Seawolves,
violent medieval, the House of the Seawolf. That said, look.
There might be something there, actually.
I got to say, I really don't care that you lost Stony Brook. And I know that a lot of people were very upset. And this is a funny element too, Jake. A lot of how I'm watching this season thus far shows you, and you felt this in football certainly as well, but it shows you how much peace of mind a national championship gives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and Blackwell were talking about this weekend watching the games on a beautiful day to watch them outside, by the way, too. Whether you were going, TV, whatever. But I'm like, Will, you're normally raging anytime anybody gets out or anytime anything goes wrong. What's wrong? He's like, no, we won the natty, dude. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
You know? It's cool. We just hadn't won one in a while. Now that we've won one, I can kind of just sit back a little bit more and be like, yeah, it just wasn't our day today. It's all good. Nothing has to be very make or break, world ending. And yeah, it creates a faith. So I don't care that you lost Stony Brook. It's baseball. Go look around the league. Everybody's dropped games to teams. Everybody has. It is what it is. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and it's how you bounce back, honestly. All jokes aside, it's how you bounce back, and they bounce back. And Stony Brook obviously put out multiple videos of them and going back a decade plus when they came in here and beat LSU, went to Omaha, and then they had the video on the bus, and the players saw that. And they refocused.
They didn't get the Gap video on the bus.
They did, and it was the widest get the Gap video that you have ever seen in your life. And so they did that, and then Tommy White and Bear Jones, they did it as well because okay, you want to poke the bear. So all of that, you're going to lose games. How do you respond? And you saw that that's what they did. Okay, and so it fired you up a little bit. So yeah, no, it's good. All of it's good.
Yeah, and okay, I should be clear about this. It's not to say that losing doesn't have value. It's not to say to completely ignore the game, right? Because I think there is value in talking about the game, looking at what went wrong, and then you identify things that you need to fix, right? I think it was it Saturday or one of the games in which the Bats struggled, Friday or Saturday, I can't remember which one. 11 of the 27 outs, this is in the Cokie Riley piece, 11 of the 27 outs were 2 pitches or less, right? And that is the antithesis of everything that Jay Johnson stands for, which is patience, making the pitchers work, earn it, pitch selection in terms of when you're going to swing. For 11, for nearly half of your outs to just come because you're just going up there and immediately slapping away at it, that is everything that Jay Johnson does not want. So what does he do? He identifies that, and then you come back, and on Sunday, you have a game in which at one point, you had nobody on, no outs, 2 strikes, and you end up scoring 5 runs because of your patient approach. And he mentioned it after the game, but just a lot of professional at-bats on Sunday. So there's value in losing. And like he says, you'd rather win in this scrappy game and take value from it anyway. But if you lose, whatever, identify why you lost and seek to fix it. And from Saturday to Sunday, I think you definitely saw that.
I think you did as well. And we're starting to see some guys really find their way in the lineup and take hold of what their job is going to be, and also kind of live up to some of the expectation. And we'll talk about it probably more in weekend winners, but a guy like Bear Jones, that's a guy that we had some questions about because he burst onto the scene, had incredible numbers to start his career. Teams figure him out a little bit, and it's okay, well, how are you going to adjust when you're not a freshman anymore? Yeah. And so far, he has certainly done that. He's got 4 home runs already on the season. So we're in that portion of the season where, no, we're not going to have the final product, but you can really start to see, okay, who is honed in, who can you start to really count on, who's going to take over some of those positions, who's going to take second base. We're getting a picture of what that potentially could look like. And I think the Texas lineup, T, will be very important to iHustle because it's going to be who Jay trusts right now and who you can probably expect to start conference play.
There's also, we'll revisit Bear. There's a great video of Bear Jones over the weekend as well that we can get into a bit later. But first, let's go to break. When we get back, still going to get into the bad weekend for the Bad News Birds. Probably a little more baseball talk. What are your big takeaways? Get them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Also, shout out LSU landing on the moon in a way that I don't know. I mean, definitely nobody in the SEC has done. Shout out our girl Ashley. That'll be more than winners, but just a big weekend overall. So look, coming out with us, 3 hours. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. More Off the Bench coming back next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. You need real steel. You want community steel. If you need purlin, tubing, steel building, sheet metal, whatever it is, it's all made right there on site in Gonzales, Louisiana. And what that means is you can go look at the product. You can walk through the steel buildings like a model home or something. Look, touch it, feel it, see it. You also get to know the live and local sales team, which if you're a business owner, great. They're going to learn what makes you and your business ticks and how best to serve you. It's everything. It's the best price point because there's no middleman jacking it up on the back end. It's human interaction. Once you work with them, you're never going to go anywhere else, okay? Community Steel Co., communitysteelco.com.
Yeah, once you go to that website, you'll see exactly what T-Bob is talking about: metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, trim, all the things they can do for you. Go to the top right corner of that website to see exactly where they're located in Gonzales, Louisiana, and then always give them a call, 225-647-2020, communitysteelco.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has new 23 Ford F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995. $39,995 plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you. Bayou Ford has new 23 Ford F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995. $39,995 plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows, recapping a busy weekend out at the box. LSU, Mississippi State in hoops. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yeah. This song, great song. Used to be one that me and my wife would always fool around to in high school. Is that a little aggressive?
Yeah, what kind of stuff were you guys into, man? Jeez.
I don't
this isn't like candlelit, rose petals, romantic.
That doesn't speak romance to you?
No.
In a business park? In an empty business park, just jamming Sandman?
Yeah, you standing outside the car?
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Welcome back, OTB. Talking about this baseball weekend, champ warming up, getting the muscles flexed up and ready to take during baseball season. So this team is flat out underperforming. No excuses. Jay isn't getting it done. If something doesn't change, the name on the door needs to. Hell yeah, dude. That's so. I mean, look, obviously
that's got to be trolling.
No. Oh, yes, to be painfully
you'll learn,
clear.
Champ.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Champ. Yes, that is. He is our resident troll. But what I like about his trolling most of the time is it does speak to some of the more irrational stuff that you will find online. Although even the latter part may be a step too far. Yeah, look, the baseball team's great. They're fine. I can't wait to watch them this weekend against some better bats. Like we said, you think you would go with, Jake made a very good point, right? Who's going to be in this lineup against Texas? I mean, surely they're going to have Holman start on Friday.
You think? Maybe. He hasn't started a series yet because Gage Jump started this last one. Thatcher Hurd started the one before. So maybe he is. And Wednesday, I wouldn't expect one of the weekend arms against Rice. So everybody's going to be available. Everybody's going to have the rest
who
be
did he
available.
mention? He mentioned somebody in his post game yesterday.
If I had to guess who was going to go out on Wednesday, it'd be Kate Anderson.
Yes, that's exactly who it was. It was one of those press conferences where you can't hear the people asking the questions, and you got to kind of try to surmise what was asked by the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard it was Kate Anderson. Johnson didn't confirm it, but he basically said, that'd be a really good guess.
I mean, he started last Monday.
Okay, so Kate Anderson probably going to go on Wednesday against Rice, and then the big boy against Texas on Friday. Let's go, dude.
I don't see you holding your ace for UL.
I wouldn't think so.
Wait, who's UL?
ULL.
No.
Yeah.
I knew Taylor was going to ask if we were playing Louisville.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even fully understand the whole UL versus ULLLL thing. So
their name.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a.
But they just say
shut
it
up.
wrong.
Yeah,
Shut
Taylor,
up.
go. Let
Shut
them know,
up.
Taylor.
They do.
Shut up. No one cares.
I love this.
I've been doing this for a decade. I cannot have this conversation one more time on air, or I'm just. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I
I'm just gonna
truthfully
feel
don't
really
understand
disheartened.
it. I just
doesn't
know it's
matter.
a joke.
Don't seek to understand it.
So the school used to be Southwestern Louisiana.
Yeah.
And ULM used to be Northeast Louisiana.
Okay.
And then they changed some years ago, and it was the University of Louisiana at Lafayette.
Yeah.
And then it was the University of Louisiana at Monroe.
Right.
And about 8 to 10 years ago, maybe not that long ago, ULL wanted to just be the University of Louisiana and drop the Lafayette.
Right. Kind of like a UTSA situation thing, kind of a little bit.
Yeah,
like, we just want to be the University of Louisiana.
Yeah, if
we don't have to have the little
UTSA
sub,
wanted to be something different,
like just UT.
And there wasn't a Louisiana, or there wasn't a University of Louisiana, right? So they tried to take that, and so left Monroe, ULM, kind of high and dry,
right?
Because they did it at the same time.
Yeah. So it's like,
Taylor,
that makes sense to me now.
Taylor, go run stairs.
T-Bob,
go up and downstairs 3 times right now. Shut up. I don't want. We're moving on. We're moving on.
I'm gonna mute his mic.
But yeah, I mean, your point stands. I don't know if I would save Holman for UL either, right? Like, put him out against Friday. I want to beat Texas. I know you probably don't want to beat Texas, Alondra.
No, I want to beat Texas.
The rest of the room wants to beat Texas.
I want to beat Texas.
We're not Texas fans like you are.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay, real quick on that. Your rooting allegiances when the two square up do go to LSU?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just checking. I'm just seeing where we're at. Just making sure. Anything else on the baseball weekend?
I just want to say real quick, I'm not ready to give up on Thatcher Hurd yet, and I don't think Jay Johnson is either. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I mean, how could you be, right? It's like, look, it's a fair point.
Yeah. I mean, what we said last week, for you to be a Friday night starter, you need to go more than 2 innings, right? You went 4.
Yes.
Jay Johnson wants 6 out of him, but he said we can develop off of 4 innings pitched. And he had 8 strikeouts. You do get concerned with the 6 hits and 3 runs, but I'm not ready to write him off. When he has command, he has command. Like, he has control of that strike zone. He lets like one thing get in his head and it kind of unravels from there. But I don't know. I'm not ready to write that draw yet. I'd start him versus UL on Saturday.
And Taylor, you're allowed to take again if you have takes. But that's the thing. I mean, you can't give up on Hurd because the ceiling is so high.
Yeah.
He's like when you see like a player that gets in trouble and gets a lighter punishment versus like somebody who rides the bench who gets in trouble and gets kicked off the team or something. Like, well, what happened? Well, it's like, well, he's way better than you. So like he gets treated differently and operates by different rules. Like, yeah, Thatcher Hurd's going to get a longer rope to prove himself even in such a crowded room because you've seen, I mean, he's one of the main reasons why you ended up finishing that national championship run. And like you said, even within some of those struggles, the 8 Ks speaks to his just deadliness. It's just so feast or famine, right? It's strikeout or walk. It's like there's you just need to find a little, like, even if maybe you took away a little of his like sharpness and for a little more control, I think that would maybe even achieve your like ideal Thatcher Hurd.
Well, the best thing to do is to put him at Sunday right now until he figures it out. And everybody's like, he's going to figure it out. Yeah, he is. But you can't let him figure it out on Friday. You have to let him figure it out on Sunday. So right now you need Jump and Holman, whichever order you want, in front of Hurd. He can figure it out on the back end of that weekend rotation. He will figure it out. And to your point, like, yeah, he had 8 strikeouts and 4 1/3. In the opening game, when he only went 2 1/3, he had 4 strikeouts. So it's like his stuff is there. It's the control.
How many walks does he have? Because didn't he have 4 walks the other day too?
Yeah. Man, I didn't write that one down.
But yeah,
I don't have the box score pulled up. But
on the year, he's got 5 walks and 7 innings.
I think he had one. I think he only had one on Friday.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Hit.
Yeah.
The opening Friday is when he had the other 3.
I mean, Javen Coleman, though, if we're talking about starters, I thought he looked pretty good yesterday. Yeah. And I wonder, so if Gage Jump isn't ready to go 6-7 innings, and that's not what he has available right now, would you, once you get down to the nitty-gritty of having only 3 games on the weekend, not these 4 games like they've had, would you end up having a situation where Gage Jump is the starter and then Javen Coleman's the guy that comes in after 4 innings, after 3 innings, whatever that might be, and that is a day that you're like, hey, it's a Jump Coleman day until Jump gets ready to go?
We did this a couple years ago with Samuel Dutton and Grant Taylor. Dutton would start, he would go 3 to 4 innings. Taylor would come in, he'd go 3 to 4 innings, and then you'd close it out with your bullpen. And the fact that they're both lefties with Jump and Coleman makes it easier to make that switch.
That makes sense on paper, but Johnson, one of the main things that he said about Javen Coleman is that what they learned through the offseason is he does better with the extended warm-up time.
Yeah.
That he is a natural starter.
Just start him and put in Jump in the 4th inning.
If you want to do it that way,
because
sure. Yes. I was just saying that I think that they feel like I don't know if they're viewing Coleman as like at least right now, like a bullpen arm. Maybe not ideally.
No, but I mean, Jump looked good out of the bullpen in the opening game when Thatcher struggled. So you've seen him be successful as a starter and a bullpen arm. Start Coleman.
Both are weekend quality arms. And so if you want to get creative and find a way to get them both involved, that would be a way.
So we all agree though. We think Holman should throw against Texas on Friday.
Yeah.
I think is kind of where we land. I think he's earned it. And I would say just, honor the performances thus far until proven differently, right? Until somebody goes and kind of wrests it from him, because right now he's kind of taken control there thus far, I would say. We'll get to that Bear Jones video a little bit later. Let's go to break. When we get back, start to get into some of the basketball that happened over the weekend. We have both the college and NBA varietals coming your way, so keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? We love local business here, and that's why we were so excited to be teamed up with Tommy and the team over there at Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. The website is gotommys.com, G-E-A-U-X, Tommys.com, and check it out, y'all. It's not just windows, right? You need vinyl, wood windows. They got you. They can do your vinyl sliding, your hardy plank. They install all types of doors. Get it? Windows, doors, and sidings, all of them. And look, when you get your, it's that time of year where some will be getting some nice tax returns, which is always great, right? Congratulations to you if you're amongst that bunch. Well, why don't you take a little bit of that and invest in your home with Tommy? And remember, get multiple bids. We tell you that all the time. Go get multiple bids. We just want to be one of them. GEAUXTommys.com.
Go to the website. You can see what they've done for past clients, testimonials. You can see the gallery of work, and they do it in all those phases, windows, doors, and siding. GoTommys.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $17,500 off new 23 1500 Bighorn trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $17,500 off new Ram 1500 trucks. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you. Bayou Ford has new 23 Ford F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995. $39,995 plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, reacting to LSU and Mississippi State basketball, 4 games of baseball at Alec Box Stadium. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Wait, what did you?
I had to turn it down because I was about to cuss, and
I was like, that was such an
you were
awkward.
taking so long to.
That was such an awkward.
I have not heard the beautiful
to get on the
people.
mic.
T-Bob, you've never heard that? That's the whole song. It just ends right there.
Yeah, that's it. That was where it is.
No, I was watching
forgot it
more.
cussed in it.
Is that Marilyn Manson?
I was watching
Yeah,
more
that's what I
videos of the Cam Newton fight from the weekend, which we'll get to during winners. But I just saw a video of one of the guys that got his ass beat, basically talking trash about Cam beforehand. Talking about how, like, you're not going to beat me, like, blah, blah. I guess talking about the football field, though. I mean, what is that guy throwing? I don't know, dude. It was an adult. I don't know.
707 has turned into
It's crazy.
Like just the most
crazy.
toxic culture. That's why
They just took AAU and
just
were
play
like,
exactly.
let's up
and
it.
that's why you just play fullback, so you don't even have to go to that.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. Go to the weight room.
And Preston Salazi, T-Bob, any North Georgia turkey hunting tips? Preston, you come to the wrong place, bro.
I thought you were about to give some.
No.
Actually.
Short
Okay.
answer is no. None at all. None at all. All right, so basketball over the weekend. Not that good, unfortunately. Pelicans fall on Friday night home to the Heat, which sucks to begin with. I kind of liked the fight, though. I kind of liked a little bit of like showing the fight that like the literal fight that you did. In case you missed it, there was a big scuffle. 5 players now suspended, multiple games. So it seems like the Heat had what Jose caught a 3-game suspension for coming off of the bench and fighting. Jimmy Butler got 1, Najee got 1, and then I think the other players were all Heat guys. Nikola Jovic, not Jokic, getting suspended as well. But the Pelicans dropping on Friday, and then again dropping to the Bulls after such a hot streak and looking so confident coming out of the All-Star break. A bit of a brutal weekend for the Bad News Birds here. You would have really hoped to at least split that homestand.
They have to figure out how to officiate Zion.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I don't know what's going on, bro.
And I hated that he had to say this after one of the games this weekend. He's like, I guess I'm just gonna have to sell it more. I'm like, oh God, no, don't.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that.
Like nobody wants to have to see that. He's probably right, and he understands like if they're just going to allow them to do whatever they want to me because I'm a bigger body, because they see me and they're like, oh, that's not a foul, it's Zion. Maybe he does have to start selling it more, but all I see is just now he's gonna have to start flopping his arms in the air and have to. But if they don't call it, like, what else do you tell Zion to do? I mean, think about, like, if Kevin Love would have grabbed Kevin Durant or LeBron or anybody else like that, like, it would have been a flagrant. Like, even if it didn't deserve to be one, it would have been one. Like, it would have been something, right?
Yeah,
and then Zion just has to sit there, and he has to take it time and time again.
And, I'll actually take Love's explanation at face value.
Oh, yeah.
Where he said he was like, dude, no, I'm trying to hold him up while fouling him. But at a certain point, like, doesn't that become, I don't know the rules well enough, but shouldn't that basically be like impeding? Like the same thing? If
he's jumping and you're trying to hold him up, that's fighting against each other. And
you're not making a basketball play. It's not a basketball play and a basketball foul. You were just straight up holding, it's like grabbing a man from behind by the jersey and just stopping him, in his tracks. So I don't know the rules well enough there. But, yeah, there was another image that came out of the Bulls game where Zion's got, like, a forearm in the face, and he still makes it, and there's no call. Some of the still images are ridiculous. But think about it. Wasn't this the same thing that – I mean, wasn't even Stan Van Gundy complaining about this, like, 3 years ago? Zion, I don't know why, actually, speaking of another guy that's on the show today, like Cam Newton, he gets treated a bit like he did, where Cam, for whatever reason, never got the calls that all these other quarterbacks got. And I don't know if it's because they're massive or whatnot, but – he just never got him. So you end up dropping those two, both in the blender, which sucks. And now you got to hit the road. And you got to go to New York to the Garden to take on the Knicks, which, Zion tends to show up there and play very well. And then you got to go to Indiana to take on the Pacers team. And these are two teams that are basically exactly where you are, just in the East. And I don't think you got to win both of these games, but I do think, bro, you really got to win one. Because right now, the play-in / not play-in battle is so extreme that it just shifts day by day. It's like that NASCAR race over the weekend with the three-way photo finish. It is constantly. I mean, I think you have 3 teams tied right now at 5, 6, and 7 record-wise. The Pels at the bottom of that tiebreaker, sitting there now at the 7th seed. So you really can't. It's 2 losses in a row. You can't let last night turn to the next night. Like you really can't afford to make this 4 in a row. You got to find a way to win one of these next 2.
Yeah, gosh, you just felt like they had great opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, the Heat. Okay. Maybe, but certainly against the Bulls, you felt like they could continue the momentum that they have, because we laid it out last week of what they were having to go through coming up and going on the road against these 2 teams and the Knicks and Pacers, and then even coming back home against the Pacers. And it doesn't get much easier down the stretch. You have to go to Toronto, you have to go to Philly, you have to go to Atlanta. So you got 3 away games even after that 1 home game, and then the opponents don't get easier either with the Cavs and the Clippers. This is going to be the make or break stretch. This is going to be the stretch that the Pelicans either have to play in the play-in tournament or they get a chance to finally not be in the play-in tournament. Like, it's this stretch. It's not down the road, because it gets easier after that, obviously, but then it gets right back to it. Like, this is a schedule. They're going to have to be the team that we think they can be, or potentially, T-Bob, they might fall way past 6, because – like, even after that, you got Thunder, Bucks, Celtics, Suns in a row.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be an easy stretch for them. This is where they have to find, are we going to be the team that's just a nice story again, or are we going to be the team that everybody says, when this team's playing, when they're on, they have the depth, they have the superstars to watch out for?
When we get back, let's talk a little men's and women's basketball over the weekend. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Trash Rangers. So, I had a lot of fun on Friday. Drove out to Cinema Jake. Got myself in by far the most expensive vehicle I've ever driven. They stuck me in one of their brand new $500,000 dump trucks, and look at your boy working the crane while driving. She's a touchy mistress. Mistress? Did the can get crushed a little bit? Yeah, but where'd the trash end up?
In the truck.
In the truck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That first swipe at it, though, what happened there?
It's touchy. I got a new respect for. I'm going to be much more conscientious of how I place my cans now as well. But I got a new respect for the drivers out there, because you just feather that little handle a little too far, you punch that thing. They also do, bro. They didn't expect me to whip that truck around. I was doing donuts in the parking lot, and that thing moves. But look, go to trashsignup.com. In 3 minutes, you choose your cans. You got it. Trash Rangers.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Bayou Ford has new 23 Ford F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995. $39,995 plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows, recapping a busy weekend out at the box. LSU Mississippi State in hoops. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Y'all, welcome back, OTB. So as you mentioned, rough weekend for the Pels. Rough weekend for the LSU men's basketball team, as you could call it maybe like a bit of like turning back into a pumpkin. Maybe more accurate would just be like being brought back down to earth a little bit, because after stacking back-to-back top 20 wins, it was feeling a little hot and heavy for this LSU men's basketball team. We're out here like, bro, if you go like 4-1 in the next 5, and then like maybe like win a couple tournament games, like you could be in the tournament. The Mississippi State game was kind of a key point in building said resume. And again, probably like the pumpkin thing probably isn't fair, because I think this team is better than a pumpkin. They come back down to earth is probably the better way to frame in your head, because look, the back-to-back wins were exciting, but like eventually you kind of return to who you really are, right? Which is a team that is subpar, but improving, and still plays very hard, but still not good enough to achieve the consistency to beat the best or be at the best more often than not. I mean, you basically played 6 tournament teams in a row, and you went 2-4 against him. That's pretty representative of kind of where you're at as a program right now, which is way better than where you were, and that's good. That's that is all signs of improvement. But Mississippi State just really taking over that game, dominating the offensive boards. LSU shoots horribly from the outside, and there was no magic comeback left in him this Saturday.
Yeah, I think they ran out of gas. You mentioned it, just in their last 4 games in the KenPom. They've played 6, 27, 17, 48, right? So they've played really good basketball teams that are going to be dancing in March, like already. Like they've already punched their ticket, right? And so this looked like a team that used a lot of energy in the game against Kentucky at home. You get excited, you storm the court, everything. And you had some juice early in this Mississippi State game, and you just ran out. And Mississippi State right now is a team, they're 28th now in KenPom. They are a tournament team. Defensively, they didn't allow you to do anything. Like, you could not get a pass anywhere inside the three-point line, it felt like, for about 8 minutes there.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to penetrate, and they just did not allow it. So it was it's a long, athletic basketball team. And again, you just felt like you ran out of gas. We know you're down at least one starter right now, and it looked like a team that was down a starter, and guys had to step up. And then you lose another starter in the middle portion of the game, so now you're down another body, and it looked like this team, just everything that they had built up, right? You know, Taylor likes to drink the NOS. Well, they hit their NOS against Kentucky
a little
and
too early.
Ran out a little bit there. But still, they have some opportunities down the stretch. Their final 4 games, they will still probably be a favorite in all 4 games. And even if, right, obviously the NCAA tournament now, like that's far-fetched. But even if, let's say they win these games, we're talking about a much better season than I think anybody could have really hoped for.
Are you 6-8 in the SEC right now?
Yeah.
Right?
After that loss, yeah.
So, I mean, I think a very good goal would be to attempt to finish at 500.
If you finish 500 in the SEC, considering where you were a year ago, it's not the standard of what LSU athletics is, but it would be a big achievement for this basketball team.
I think it'd be absolutely massive, and that's very realistic. And so, yeah, this is not like if your bar for this team is tournament or not. Well, that's just a bad bar to begin with. Like those are bad expectations, I would say. Taylor, what are your thoughts on before we move on to the women's team?
They shot horribly. I mean, this was one of the worst shooting performances they had all year. And you guys talked about it. Tyrell Ward, losing him early in that game. We talked about it last week. He might be the most important player on this team because he's the only one that has a consistent shot on the outside. Yeah. Your second best three-point shooter all year, Jalen Cook. He's not in the lineup. I mean, you have Trey Hannibal out there. Great player, great ability to drive to the basket. Not much of an outside shot. Jordan Wright, great player, can drive to the basket. Not much of an outside shot. I mean, you have to have that because the shots were falling from Mississippi State. So, like, they had an outlier good shooting performance. You had an outlier bad shooting performance, and that's why you lose by 20 to a team that I thought you could have been competitive with.
On the women's side of the equation, the LSU women going on the road in Knoxville, and right after a really hard-fought victory over Auburn, making it 2 in a row. And the story of the game there is Haley Van Lith gets a little more off-guard play. And, well, the results kind of speak for himself. Van Lith drops 26, grabs 7 boards, 3 assists, 0 turnovers in 37 minutes. Big fat goose egg, goes 9-18, goes 4 of 5 from 3, and makes some really big shots down the stretch as well to secure the win. You end up winning by 15. It was a closer game than that, but it was great. Look, Van Lith heating up around tournament time. Like, yes, that's exactly what you want to see, and I wonder if they'll use her more like this going forward.
Coach Mulkey always tells us, like, she's going to continue to try different things, have different lineups, prepare for the tournament, even in the regular season. So does she care about winning every game? Yes, but she knows that getting her team ready for the tournament is the most important thing. And so, like, this is a move. And like we've seen last year over the last couple of games, her role kind of changed, and she's been – a big part of the winning streak that they've been on. So this feels like one of those moments, T, where they're trying something, seeing if it works, heading into March.
Final stat here, too. We know it's very simple, but we know Coach Mulkey's favorite stat is opponent field goal percentage, 31% for Tennessee. More importantly, 6 games in a row, the opponent shot under 40, Jake. So there has been some stifling defense out of these Tigers. All right, when we get back, let's talk Jaden Daniels. We got a little NFL Combine, got some LSU football news. Winter's coming up at 9 a.m. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Bayou Ford has new 23 Ford F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995. $39,995 plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Monday, February 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 79. In hour 2 of today's show, we talk NFL Combine, and we discuss the latest with LSU football and the New Orleans Saints. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, Taylor, all hanging out with you today. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're having an even better day. We'll recap the baseball weekend there in hour number 1. Also to recap basically all the basketball weekend as well. This will probably be a more football-themed hour, I would guess. Yeah, look, the big takeaway with baseball to me is, again, who cares about the actual loss itself? Rather, what lessons did you learn? And if you look at how the bats looked on Friday and Saturday compared to that of Sunday, I would say some lessons were learned. Did we gain anything on the positional battlefront? Braswell, clearly your shortstop, right? And then do we believe that Milam is going to be the second baseman? Second baseman since bats on.
I think so.
I think right now he has to be. I mean, the plays that
Monster.
he made,
Those plays were
the tools that he has, with the bat as well. I mean, he's still. I think he's hitting 400. I mean,
is he hitting 400 even after because he had a freshman night, right? One of the games he was 0 for 5 over the weekend, I believe.
Yeah, but he was 2 for 4 yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
he's batting 409 right now.
Okay, shout out. Shout out, Monster.
He's also 3 for 3 on stolen bases. Sorry, Taylor.
We were talking about like the rotation last week. You're like, oh, you got 5 guys for 2 spots. He played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because they wanted to give Braswell a rest on Saturday. They slid Milam in there to the shortstop spot, and he didn't look out of place at all. He looked great. So it's like that's 3 games in a row. It's like we're gonna rotate everybody else, but Milam's staying in the field. So I mean, I don't think it's locked up just yet because Jay likes to mix up a bunch of things, but it's about as locked up as it could be at this point.
So we'll continue to look at that. Overall, though, another great weekend for the Tigers. Now 8-1. Or is it 9 games or is it 7-1?
7-1.
7-1 on the year. Couple days off. Wednesday against Rice. Friday against Texas.
Saturday ULL.
Yeah, and then Saturday UL. Alondra, you do not have to play their game.
No, you said it correctly.
NFL Combine.
I think
Sunday, Texas State.
However
Getting
anybody
underway.
wants to say it, they can say it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll agree with that. I agree.
Yeah.
It's my First Amendment right.
NFL Combine Week getting underway this week, which is always an exciting time. And I got to say, I don't sit there and watch the Combine, but I do love social media Combine highlights. Mm-hmm. And it's not to even say like it's no sort of commentary to me as to whether or not they will be good at football or not, whether or not I would draft the guy, but I do think it's tight watching someone who's 270 pounds do like a 12-foot broad jump, run a 4.40, like a 40-inch vertical while putting up 225 35 times. Like I love that kind of stuff. So again, I don't like overdrafting based on this stuff, but I do like watching whoever these like top performers are, just seeing the numbers that kind of boggle the mind about what the human body can achieve from a size to athleticism standpoint. But the news may be relevant to our audience is that it came out that Jaden Daniels will not be throwing at the Combine. He will be in Indy. He will be doing meetings. He will not throw. I'm guessing that means he's also not going to run. He'll probably save everything for Pro Day. And it's the same thing that Caleb Williams is doing. And so we'll start it there. Is that the correct decision for Jaden Daniels?
I mean, I think I would run.
Well, sorry, I should say, I don't know if he said anything about running yet.
Right. And if he's not throwing, probably not. I mean, probably not going to. None of the top quarterbacks throw at the Combine anymore. They just don't do it. They're throwing to somebody they don't know. They don't know how somebody runs a route, and they don't feel like it puts their best foot forward. And I understand that. Going back to like even when I was at the Combine like forever ago, the top guys like Matt Ryan and those guys didn't throw. And it's become more and more the norm, T, that those guys don't throw. So what are you smirking at? I don't like that.
Sorry, I was smirking. No. I was smirking because
like
I felt like I could hear Taylor's diaphragm filling with air as he wanted to yell, "But Baker Mayfield threw!" But like I don't. Is that? Were you gonna?
No,
but then I kind of looked over and I didn't actually see him doing it. So I left it
just
alone.
assumed. But I mean, to your point, like Baker wasn't really considered like the runaway number 1 pick. I mean, a lot of people were surprised when Cleveland made that move.
Yeah, so maybe even him, maybe he had more incentive to throw.
Yeah,
than some of these guys.
But I think Jaden Daniels can roll out of bed and run a 4.4. I mean, I feel like he's that kind of
even
fast.
on that electronic time.
I do. I mean, just the way he pulled away from Florida defenders, and those are Florida defenders. They're not some little state U school. So I think he can roll out of bed, run a 4.4. But what's he want to run? What does he want to go out there and show? And he feels like maybe he can do that best at LSU's Pro Day because. Think about this. Would you rather throw, if we're going back to that, would you rather throw at Indy to guys you have no idea who they are?
Yeah.
Or would you like to come back home and throw to Malik and Brian Thomas Jr.?
I mean, exactly.
That's
right?
easy.
Like, that's the thing is that you're throwing to guys you can throw. In football and quarterback play is so much about timing. He can throw to those guys with his eyes closed. Versus having to kind of microwave relationships in a couple of days. And it's not like the scouts really care. right? Like you could say it's risk averse or whatever. I would say that, well, yeah, sure, but also like we all in life tend to do whatever we think we can get away with. And if Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels can get away with not throwing and still be the top 2 quarterbacks taken, that's what they're going to do. And for Drake May hasn't even confirmed that he's going to be in Indianapolis.
Right.
As of yet. Does that leave a door open for Drake May, do you think, to gain any ground if he's like, well, I'll go up there and I'll throw?
No, I don't think so. Like, because Chicago's got the first pick. Chicago is not going to draft Drake May number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Like, it just not going to happen.
Sure.
Not after the last time when they took a North Carolina quarterback number 2 overall and your boy, Mitchell Trubisky, and it just didn't work.
I didn't like Mitchell when he was drafted.
Right, wrong, or indifferent,
Just
like those two are going to be grouped together for that team and that franchise. It's going to either be Caleb Williams or they're going to trade out. And that other team could trade up and maybe select Drake May. I don't know who's in love with him, but it ain't going to be Chicago. So maybe he can solidify number 2. He ain't going number 1.
Well, and speaking of trading up, there is a lot of smoke that the Las Vegas Raiders are thinking about trading up to get Jaden Daniels. And I know that, for many years and for good reason that this would be a death sentence for most. But it probably still is. But I mean, look, Antonio Pierce, maybe he's finally the guy to get that right? They don't go with Rich Bisaccia. They learn their lesson trying to chase the Belichickian ghost. Now they go with the guy that the players seem to support. I don't love it for Daniels that he's kind of a defensive-minded head coach. I keep looking at Tua and the switch from Brian Flores to Mike McDaniel and what happened there, but that's, I'm kind of getting into a lot of projection there. I will say this. If Jaden Daniels goes to Vegas and makes them consistently respectable or does a very good job, that would be, it is undeniably badass, right? To be wearing black in that giant Death Star of a stadium in that city. If he makes them an actual good NFL team and he's putting up crazy stats, like he will immediately become one of the biggest names and one of the coolest players in the entire NFL.
Gross.
I know it hurts you. I know it hurts you because of your AFC West, your AFC West experiences, but
the Raiders are like the Phillies and like the Florida Gators. Ugh.
The only problem with the Vegas portion of the equation is how many hardcore Raiders fans do you actually play in front of every weekend? Or is it a transient thing where everybody who's in town just like, oh, let's go to the NFL game. You just got a bunch of hodgepodge of people showing up.
I do have to. I got to give them credit. They typically have fans almost wherever they go.
Okay.
Certainly in that portion of the country.
Shout out
it
to
probably
Black Hole.
changed a little bit being in Vegas because there's so many people that are probably there just for a Vegas trip and like, hey, there's an NFL game this weekend. Do you want to go? There's probably something to that, but it's not like the other team's fans are there.
Would the Raiders be the worst team for you of all the teams that Jaden Daniels is being kind of rumored to?
Raiders or Falcons? That's a tough race there.
Yeah,
I think maybe Falcons might even be the answer because we would have to talk about him here and talk about how the Saints can beat Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I can handle him doing well in Vegas. I can't handle him becoming the next Michael Vick in Atlanta.
Because even if he's good with the Raiders, it's still the Raiders, and they'll find a way. But yeah, I don't need another version of the Dirty Birds. I don't need that.
No. Even the Giants, they don't love being in the NFC. But if you want to go to New York, that's fine. He could be really good there, though. The Giants could probably be good if they had a good quarterback. Even Tommy Cutlets had them feeling had a frisky couple of weeks there this past season. So look, I don't think it's a big deal that Jaden Daniels is not throwing. Again, Jamarcus Russell didn't throw, and then he went and just absolutely blew away Pro Day, and look what happened there. And if you could say, oh, he's afraid of competition, well, his main competition is not throwing either. So that's a moot point. But in a funny sign of again, we all get away with what we can, and then we do what we must. Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., J.J. McCarthy will all throw at the combine because they have to, and they're still competing to outdo one another.
Penix and Knicks, like their stock went up after the Senior Bowl, right? I mean, a lot of people liked what they saw from them.
Knicks
So
came
it's
out
like
a big winner there.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean,
Penix.
if your stock continues to rise, why not go through?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think there's a group of quarterbacks that are after those first three where you're going to have, let's put 4 or 5 quarterbacks in that category. You're going to have one star from that group. Like, I think there's going to be, I don't know who it's going to be, but there's going to be a star quarterback that's going to be.
You're talking about from that second tier?
From the second tier.
Penix Jr., Knicks, McCarthy. Would anybody else be in there?
You can throw whoever.
Maybe not quite, but maybe a little bit below him is Michael Pratt. I mean, people like him as a prospect too.
You're going to have one. You're going to have one from that group that's going to be a multiple-year starter in the NFL in good standing.
So Combine, though. Getting underway. When was that? Tomorrow? Is tomorrow when it starts?
Today.
Okay, so today you're starting to show up for meetings?
Yes.
Right? And maybe Jake can take us behind the scenes as the week goes on as to what exactly goes on in the Combine. Coming up next, Warren Sharp had a very interesting tweet, very long tweet. What?
Uncle Warren?
Yes, Uncle Warren. Who,
a lot of people don't know that, so breaking news.
NFL analytical game. And now, works with NFL teams in terms of providing them data and analysis. But he wholly disagrees with the notion that the Saints cap management is a sound one. And it became quite the debate on Saints Twitter over the weekend. And so I kind of want to pose it to the room and see if we agree with Warren, do we agree with the Saints, or is there some maybe middle ground to be found there? Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You need a new vehicle? Why not make it a Toyota, right? Stand the test of time. Incredibly well engineered. Also, great pricing. I love, too, most of them are now hybrids, right? Like, I actually, full disclosure, when I was purchasing the new Toyota Sienna minivan that I got, I didn't know it was a hybrid. I just knew I wanted a minivan because I love them and they're so convenient and awesome. But, tell you what feels good, 30 miles to the gallon. Feels damn good. And you can get that with basically the entire All-Star fleet right now. But remember, if you need a service, go to the service center. You mention OTB, you get $100 towards your deductible. All makes and models are welcome. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go to that website that T-Bob gave you. Check out what they can do for you when you're buying new, when you're leasing, and when you are renting. Everything is available in all the processes that we tell you about. So get that rental scheduled today. Go check out their new vehicles over on their website, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
We're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Bayou Ford has new 23 Ford F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, reacting to LSU and Mississippi State basketball, 4 games of baseball at Alec Box Stadium. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Imagine it, Jake. Jaden in the silver and black. Lead him out the black hole. Bunch of crazy masks in the stands.
And then here comes Jim Harbaugh in his khakis. Rolling by him, baby.
In powder blue.
That's right.
Looking like Bo Schembechler with his big Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh's glasses, I don't think we've ever discussed him on his show. Who's all seen Trailer Park Boys in the room? Anybody? Okay. You have not, Alondra? Some research for you.
It.
Okay, you have. He is getting to Bubbles' level of blindness. Like his his eyes are comically magnified by those glasses that he wears. And you know what? It sucks, man. I get it. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, it ain't no
Hey.
you know, you deal with the hand you're dealt, but it is getting comical.
You can't steal signs with bad vision.
True.
Very fair.
Actual true. All right. So Warren Sharp football, a very smart football mind. Like, not that you're going to agree with everything he says, but I think we agree on that.
It runs in the family. It does.
How many
It
times
really
are we going to go with
does.
this joke? Dude, you just keep saying the same joke.
How do you know we're not related?
So for those that don't know, Warren Sharp obviously has the same last name as Taylor. That's a joke, guys. Everybody enjoy it, digest it. Great. Awesome.
Everyone laughed.
Awesome.
10 out of 10,
Everyone.
Taylor.
I don't think he's. No, he's not. Okay. I was making sure. There's one of the guys. I think maybe one of the guys started PFF's like from Ireland, and that's how I was going to say. I know you're not related, but I don't think it's Warren. So who knows? Maybe
he's got a very Irish look. But anyways.
All right. So Warren Sharp. This is going to be a bit long here, and I feel like we need to read it and engage with it at its own points, because he came out here and had a long tweet about the Saints cap strategy. And I read it and I was really like, that's, not like, it sounds very right on a lot of perspectives. And then you look at the mentions and it's a lot of Saints fans and analysts and others being like, you're an idiot. Like, this is not true. So I figured, let's bring it on air and let's just kind of put it on the table, expose it, and see what we think. Warren Sharp, quote, a different spin on the Saints cap. The NFC South is a largely incompetent division. The worst win rate of any division the last 2 years, second worst of the last 3 years. Yet, the Saints cannot achieve their goals and even make the playoffs largely because of their approach off the field. In 2022, they paid almost $28 million in dead cap. That's 14% of the cap to guys not even on the team, like Teron Armstead, Drew Brees, Malcolm Jenkins. Those were all guys they restructured in prior years to save them, but would cost them into 2022. In 2023, they still had a $4 million cap hit for Malcolm Jenkins, who retired 2 years prior. Nearly the same cap hit as Tyrann Mathieu. In 2023, they had a total of $22 million in dead cap money. That's 10% of the cap. Once again, two guys not even on the team, like David Onyemata, Marcus Davenport, and Malcolm Jenkins, all of which they restructured. Maybe they make the playoffs if they're not wasting 10% of the cap on guys not on the roster, thanks to their ideas of kicking the can down the road. Now, let's stop there for a second and kind of absorb that. Immediate thoughts when you hear Sharp lay that out.
I think the 10%, right at the very end when you said that, that's really where the light bulb went on for me, because there's something to that. Championship teams, the back end of their roster from 47 to 53, a lot of times who you have there can potentially be the difference in a championship or not.
That was like an old Parcells thing. Wasn't it something about like, well, the 53rd, like why are you always working guys out? He's like, well, at some point, the 53rd guy will like be the deciding point in a game. And I want to make sure that I have my best possible guy when that point comes.
Yeah, and like you look at the Chiefs team and like look at some of the guys that stepped up for the Chiefs late in the regular season, in the playoffs. They were guys that were at the very back end of that roster. And so we're talking about 10%. That 10% can be crucial because it either means, you can take a flyer maybe
14% 2 years ago. 14 and then 10.
You can take flyers on some veteran guys that can potentially help you down the stretch. And if you don't have that 10%, then you're on all league minimum deals. You're on all probably undrafted free agent rookies, and that's where you're at. And we could look at teams that have won the Super Bowl and that 10 to 14%, whatever it is, on the back end of the roster. And maybe you expand that. Maybe it goes from player 40 to 53. Like, just imagine if you can have like a veteran player, a veteran 5-year linebacker that you have to play in the postseason, or would you rather have an undrafted free agent rookie because you're so strapped against the cap that you don't have the ability to do so? And so, like, championships are won in the back end of your roster. Front end talent, absolutely. You have to have it to be to that point. But it's the back end of that roster where the best teams that I was a part of, that's where really you made your hay.
That's really interesting because a lot of the counter argument from Saints fans appears to be naming the player that we didn't get, that we wanted because of the cap, which is not unfair, though I would say, guys like Trey Hendrickson, like that was a cap casualty. You couldn't afford to keep him. Marcus Bell, cap casualty, Von Bell, excuse me, cap casualty, couldn't afford to keep him. But even that though is a bit odd because maybe you could have, if not for the pandemic, because remember the Saints' entire strategy is based off of, okay, the cap will go up. And so we can allot basically that increase to be dead money to retain the roster that we want to right now and be as competitive as we want right now. But when it went down during the pandemic, that really screwed up kind of the long-term plans, right? And so you end up losing a couple guys that you would have kept. So even if you want to take them out because of the pandemic, like I understand the point that, well, yeah, name me a player that they wanted they haven't gotten. That's fair. But to Jake's point, that's not what actually decides, when you're trying to fight into the playoffs and the margins matter so much. And in a sport where people are doing anything they can to gain the smallest percentage points of advantages, is it actually good? Even if you can make the math work and field good starters, is it actually good to have a 10th of your resources being given every single year to players that aren't playing anymore?
It's tough, and you don't know the player because they didn't have the ability to sign the player. So you never heard the rumor because they knew they didn't have the ability to go get the player. And the Saints, they find a way always under the cap. We know that. But if you just continue to do this and over and over and over again, is there going to be a number where it gets to? Maybe it's not 14%. Maybe it's 19. Maybe it's 22%. And then that potentially could just take you from a team that's fighting for the playoffs every year to a team that wins 4 games.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to 20% cap, that's untenable to me. In fact, I think they hit that number once during that 7-9 stretch with Peyton before they got it going. Now, that said, the other part about this is how much would having like a Drew Brees level of quarterback make up for all of this, right? Because you had all these same kind of dead cap numbers in that 17-21 run when you were kicking ass, only you had a Hall of Fame quarterback operating, right? So, this is very nuanced. Okay, let's keep reading the tweet. He says, in 2024, there are 187 players with cap hits of $12 million or more. 11 of the 187 are on the Saints. That is the most in the NFL. That is double the average in the NFL. They have 6 players hitting the cap in 24 for $14 million or more. All 6 were restructured in the last calendar year to help with their 23 cap hit while hurting their 24 cap. Guys like Ryan Ramczyk, Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara, Demario Davis, Taysom Hill. That's an interesting note because those are all names where you're kind of like, what does their, where's their future line with the team? Not Demario Davis, obviously. I would say Taysom Hill still in great standing as well. You hope that Alvin Kamara comes back under Kubiak. You love Cam Jordan, but eventually all good things must come to an end. With Ramczyk, it's kind of like, ugh, man, like I don't. How much does he have left in the tank at this point? Okay, back to the tweet. The Saints are $53.5 million over the cap for 24, pending moves being finalized. You can say they can't keep getting away with it every time they restructure to save cap space, but they aren't getting away with anything. In fact, their approach keeps older players around longer and potentially past their prime while eating bunches of future cap religiously and ultimately forces a ton of dead cap down the road. And they're doing this during a time when the NFC South should be theirs for the taking. Yet they can't get in the playoffs for 3 straight years to do anything. And they've missed out on margins so slim, missed the playoffs twice with 9-8 records. It's hard to argue that a better approach to the cap would have gotten, it's hard not to argue that a better approach to the cap would have gotten them over the hump.
And also, the thing that we're not even talking about, and I agree with a lot of that. You got veteran players that are past really their peak prime, and you're still paying them like they're in that prime because you've moved it down the road so far. And I know there's a lot of people, and probably shows after us today, the cap got bigger by $30 million. They'll be fine. They're going to fit under it. They always find a way. That's what we always hear. But when we look at the 2024 NFL free agents, you're not in on any top-tier free agent because you can't afford it. Can you go sign a free agent? Maybe you can. Maybe you can get creative and find a way to bring Derek Carr to New Orleans, okay? But you're not in on any of the top free agents any given year because you don't have the ability to do so. The only free agent that you can go after is somebody that's past that peak, past their prime, and you're going to maybe overpay for that person, or you're going to get a – so when you're in free agency, there's always first wave, second wave, final wave. That's the way that our agents always tell us. Are you going to be in the first wave, the second wave, or the final wave? You don't want to be in the final wave. It means you're living year by year. Right? I've been there at the end of my career.
You might not even make the team.
You might not even get an opportunity. You might not even get a contract. The first wave is going to be the stars, right? And the guys that can help you win games right now. The second wave is going to be you're trying to fill roster spots because you don't have the cap room. And then the final wave, everybody can do that. You just take waivers on guys. Are the Saints in on any first wave free agent? And by the way, Derek Carr to me ain't a first wave free agent. He was a second wave free agent.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are they in on any of those players? No, they're not. And so why are they not on those players? Well, they can't afford those players. If they have a big need, which they certainly have many, certainly on the offensive front, well, they can't go just sign or even be competitive in signing the top-tier free agents because they just don't have the cap space. They don't have the ability. So, yeah, they can get under the cap. They can get under the number. They can maybe sign a second-wave free agent that we all know because he's been a big name before.
Yeah.
And hey, see who we got? But they're not in the first-wave free agents because they don't have the ability to. And so how are you helping your team right now? Now you got to go draft a player. You got to go draft a Trevor Penning and hope he works out. He hasn't worked out, and now what do you have? You have a bad offensive line.
Well, and that's what else we got to factor in here. Again, this is not a clear-cut debate. It's not binary. I disagree with anybody who says the Saints cap approach is wholly right or wholly wrong because there's okay, so he mentions being 9-8, right? Partially, that's because you did this and you maintained a pretty good nucleus of guys, right, to get you to 9. But a lot of that 8 is because you have cash trapped yourself to the point where you don't have the 53rd, right, that the bottom of the roster that's going to push you through in some of those games. And so it kind of keeps you maybe more relevant, but it kind of also lowers your ceiling and your margin of error. And when you lower the margin of error, that then makes the draft more important. So the absolute worst thing you can do is miss as consistently on the first round picks as you did with Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner, and Trevor Penning. Like this, because he's right. When you extend, you're going to keep these veteran players potentially past their prime. You hope to offset that with the infusion of young talent through the draft. And so again, you're lowering your margin of error. And when you miss there, that's when this all starts to come to a head. If you had hit on those players, then this cap wouldn't feel nearly as bad as it does right now. But the fact that you had Olave, what is that? 3 of your last 4 first-round picks then have been busts. That's not a sustainable model in the NFL if you want to be a successful franchise.
And we're not talking about he's playing, he's just not living up to first-round status. We're talking about a couple of guys that can't even get on the field.
3 guys, all 3, can't even get on the field.
Can't get on the field. Now, Olave looks like he is a star in the making, and that's great. But you can't have first-round picks that don't even touch the turf.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like 2 of the 4 you would hope would be like stars. But the others should have roles to play.
At minimum, you want a star, a solid starter, and 2 guys that contribute somehow.
Yeah.
You got 1 star and 3 inactives.
That's wild. And again, that also cannot be ignored in all of this. So the Saints cap strategy, in my opinion, and this may sound like a fence-sitting thing here, but it's not wholly good. It's not wholly bad, but it does lower the margin of error. It's kept you relevant, but it's also kept kind of a ceiling on you, and it lowers the margin of error in the draft, and they must be better in that regard if they're ever going to get this thing back. And we all know that this is kind of the come-to-a-head, make-or-break year, and if it goes awry, maybe you go full reset. Only time will tell.
And another, Adam points out Isaiah Foskey in the chat. It's a great point out because that's another player you took in the second round. And T-Bob, he's not helping you on defense. No. He's not helping you on special teams. Where is a second-round pick? When you're selected in the second round, if you're not a starter, you got to be like a rotational piece. And when you come in, you are a dog. Like you're a third down guy, but when you come in, they know you're on the field. And if you're at bare minimum, if you're not that as a second-round pick, man, you got to be a core special teams guy. You got to be somebody that when they turn on the special teams tape, they're like, hey, Foskey right here, he is coming like a bat out of hell off that edge. He's none of that.
Yeah.
That's a second-round pick. And so if you don't have cap space to sign guys at the back end of your roster and you're missing on first-round picks but also second-round picks, that's where you have roster problems. Yeah. And that's where you can't get them fixed if you are 14% of your cap is paid to players that aren't playing.
So I thought it was some good debate raised by Sharp Football. And the one thing I would disagree with is anybody, again, who makes it as a binary yes or no, because clearly there's a lot of nuance engaged therein. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Coleman Roofing and Construction. Coleman, the most complete, reliable, respected roofing company in Louisiana. Shout out my guy, Corey. I didn't mean to Hulk Hogan leg drop your daughter at the trampoline park this weekend. Save that story for a bit later in the show, but just know I didn't mean to. I would never do that knowingly to a 3-year-old. Maybe even younger, actually. Not good. But look, I say the most respected, reliable, complete roofing company because they do it all, man. Any size job, commercial, residential, any type of roof, they got you anywhere in the state in the Gulf South region. And they do the interior as well. So any damage they're in, tree, water, whatever, they got you.
Bro, you out here leg dropping people?
I can't. It's a funny story, but it's embarrassing.
Go to ColemanRoof.com. ColemanRoof.com. Truly a one-stop shop. We promise T-Bob won't be there. ColemanRoof.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows, recapping a busy weekend out at the box. LSU, Mississippi State in hoops. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back. OCB. Rolling right along. Yeah, okay, so to just explain the story that I referenced during the live read there. My daughter's birthday was at a trampoline park this weekend. Fun theme, Spidey and Friends, which I'm sure many parents recognize. Also, she loves the Spider-Verse movies like I do, and she loves Ghost Spider, who I think is a great character in so many different ways. In fact, between Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy as Ghost Spider, and obviously you got your classic Peter Parker, Spider-Man's got really strong characters. Like Miles, in terms of being a new character, is probably up there like Harley Quinn as those that have kind of come in the modern age and really stuck. I don't know when Gwen Stacy became Ghost Spider, so I can't speak to that. I feel like it's recent. Or Gwen's been around the comics for a while. Whatever. I'm getting distracted. The point is, fun theme though. We're at the trampoline park, and I'm bouncing a little bit. I just got in there, and no adults are bouncing, but I just wanted to jump a little bit. And I was trying to show one of my daughter's friends how to do a booty blast. It's very self-explanatory. You jump, you land on your butt, and then you land back on your feet, right? Right. And so I'm jumping, and she's in the one across me, 6-year-old, and I'm like, okay, now watch this. And so I jump up in the air and like Hulk Hogan doing a big leg drop. I get ready to do a booty blast. As I'm in the air, my friend's 2-year-old child trips and falls underneath me. And when I tell you that I directly landed on and/or crushed this child's entire upper half of her body, it could not have been smashed more directly, more it was so, and there were so many people that saw it. It was so embarrassing. Just a room full of adults all hanging around on the edge of the trampolines. I'm the one a-hole that's over 30 that tried to hop out there, and within 3 minutes I had leg dropped a 2-year-old child. And immediately just, tears, crying. Thankfully,
oh my God,
all major injuries avoided. I just heard a horror story about somebody getting a broken collarbone at one of these things recently. So thankfully, nothing
Right,
happened.
you messing with our livelihood out here.
I booty blasted a 2-year-old, Avo. That is true.
No.
One of our sponsors out
good.
here, our people we advertise with, and you trying to hurt their child.
I know.
And hey, we don't have urgent care on here anymore, okay? So we can't send them there. So it's not a 2-for-1 deal.
I know. It's it was crazy. It was a oof. It was a scary moment for your boy. It's the second time that I've almost injured a child at a tramp park.
I did the same thing one time. We went, I was a freshman in college. We all went to Sector 6 out in New Orleans because that's like the only one they had at the time. And we're all, made a trip out there. And like, we're like,
Just the college bros going to a little tramp park.
Some activities were had
Bruh.
other than that. But
Bro, I don't think you can be college unless you're renting it out for like a fraternity party. I don't know if the
He
college
went to
boys
Cleveland
can
for his
actually
bachelor
go.
party.
Yeah.
That's true. This man went to the Mistake by the Lake on purpose.
I did. It was an awesome time. But no, we we're jumping, and as soon as you jump, like a child walks under me, like 6, land directly on me, starts like doing like the sniffle, like he's about to cry. And I look around, I didn't see any parents, and I was like, I'm out of here. I'm going to the bathroom. And I was like, I walked away. I was like,
smart, dude.
I wasn't there.
Smart.
Don't know what
Abandoned
happened.
the scene. No idea.
Walked away.
Did not happen. It again though. The other time, which I almost hurt a child at one of these things, it was that child's actual birthday. I think he was like 4 or 5 at the time.
That's even better.
And we were on a bridge over the foam pit, and he was like grabbing. I was holding him, and I was like, I'm gonna throw you in, to like show you that it doesn't hurt. And he was like grabbing my shirt. He's like, don't do it. And so I promised him I wouldn't throw him in. As soon as he let go, I chunked him. And so what? Not only a breach of trust, which in retrospect was a bit bad, but then he got up gripping his elbow because he landed funny. And here I was thinking that I had broken, the birthday boy's arm at the birthday. But he was all good. The point is, just maybe tone it down. I just gotta tone it down.
Yeah, not
a little bit.
Not this birthday, but the last one. I think you came over to my house and you were talking trash to my kids on Mario Kart on their birthday.
Yeah, and they got smashed.
Yeah.
Just like Wet Rooster 420 got smashed on Rocket League the other day.
He did.
Look, exactly, Nacho Man. F them kids.
Yeah.
Okay? Me and Michael Jordan, you are the company you keep. I'm like that old Dave Chappelle skit where he goes to the kids in like the cancer war and they're playing Madden and he's just like absolutely smashing them.
I mean, I do that like to my 3-year-old cousin. We'll go to like an arcade or something, and I don't take it easy on him.
No.
You got to teach him to lose sometimes. You know what I mean?
Actually, no, to be fair, if it's a 3-year-old, I'll kind of,
No, I'm not taking it easy on Bo.
Oh, yeah, dude. Smash that little kid.
Yeah.
Little dumbass. Speaking of dumb little kids.
I'm like, well, you should have played the game right.
My stupid little son yesterday, I like let him play outside for like just a couple of minutes, chilling out, let him be alone. I go out there, he's covered in water from the hose, and he's just actively eating dirt out of a soil pot.
I love it.
Just shoveling dirt in his mouth, and he's crying, but he just keeps putting more dirt in his mouth. Like, you are so stupid. What are you doing?
Boys.
That's not food. All right, when we get back, let's close that hour number 2. We got weekend winners coming up to kick off hour 3. Keep it locked. Go to me.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done, baby. 225-888-8888.
If your child gets hurt at a trampoline park because T-Bob Hebert does the Hulk Hogan move on him, probably something's there. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. You signed a lot of waivers.
You do.
You signed a lot of waivers.
You don't expect a former All-SEC offensive lineman to leg drop you either, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. If I do hurt your child, you're welcome to call Gordon and at least see what's out there.
It's a free consultation.
Exactly. It's a free consultation. So if nothing else, you learn what could maybe you deserve. And that's the thing. You get what you deserve when you get Gordon. You get somebody who's going to stand up to the big insurance companies for you. Shout out to the G team. A lot of your favorite athletes on the G team now. 225-888-8888. Follow them on social media at Get Gordon. You go to getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done today. Booty blast!
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Happy New Year from your friends at Front to Back Boat Service. And what better way to kick off your new year than by taking your boat to the next level? Get the boat of your dreams, and that's where Front to Back comes into play. You want that spot lock trolling motor that's going to keep you right there on the water where you need to be. How about some forward-facing sonar that actually shows you the fish before you even cast? Custom stereo jobs, all of it. Sherman family's been doing it for 38 years. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has new 23 Ford F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995. $39,995 plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagine.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, reacting to LSU and Mississippi State basketball, 4 games of baseball at Alex Box Stadium. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Sup, y'all? Welcome back. OTB!
To be honest, I don't remember if I already played this song today or not.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
All right. Anytime, you've been in your Eagle 98.1 feels today.
Yeah.
I got a text saying he's supposed to eat dirt, so that's probably right. Toughen him up.
He's supposed to?
Yeah. Toughen him up a little bit.
Yeah.
The immune system going.
Like,
For sure.
We weren't ever told, to eat dirt, but, my dad was big, I'll put some clay on it, Bo. You're fine. Like if you had like any scratch or bruise, or just throw some clay on it.
Ooh, some cool clay.
Like, I wonder where that came from.
Yeah, I don't know. Stop the bleeding.
Do you remember, like, did your old man ever say that?
No, we
Have
never
you heard that
put some clay
before?
on it, but it makes sense to me. I feel like, no, my old man was when it came to cuts, he was hyper paranoid about infections. Big, immediately
Really?
hydrogen peroxide,
Like
and,
almost like the
Neosporin and cover it
how
up.
Robitussin, old Chris Rock stand up and fix everything.
He was just super
Yeah.
super paranoid about getting infections, which has now been passed down to me. Which of course, because that sounds like the worst thing in the world.
Wait, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, my parents would always be like, "Oh my God, your guts are gonna come out." Like they would make fun of me. Like they're like, "Oh, your guts are gonna come out." It's like a little cut, and I'm like, I need a Band-Aid, and they don't give me one.
Oh God, little kids love Band-Aids. So stupid. So wait, what happened with this court storming thing over the weekend? Did we have another
Wake?
player? Yeah, did we have another player get run into? Or
I think
another.
Wake students.
Wake beat Duke, right?
Yeah, and the students stormed the court, and I think that like a Duke player maybe.
So do you want to be super technical? Because in my opinion, just like Caitlin Clark, I think Kyle Filipowski initiated this contract.
Either way, I
John
think
Shire acted like he was taking bullets.
John Shire ran on the court, like covers him, like screaming.
And like his face was like one that he was in war on the front lines of battle.
Bro, he's been watching too much Masters of the Air.
Something.
It just infected him.
Hey, can you find the video so I can show? We need to show T just John Shire's face alone, almost like his player was literally like in war. And he had to go protect him.
I'll say the only reason I bring it up is because y'all realize court storming is going to be completely disallowed soon.
Oh, no, because now Duke's involved.
Like it's never like it's just it's
right.
Caitlin Clark and Duke.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be banned.
It's
Caitlin
going to be
Clark,
banned.
Yeah, it's like that was like the tip of the iceberg, and you see Duke, and you're like, wait, no, we have to protect Duke at all costs.
But then somebody posted a picture of like somebody doing it. I don't remember if it was Duke doing it. Or Wake versus Duke, but it was a game with Duke, and somebody was doing an inbound play, and the Duke students were like all on the barely touching.
Like right on top of it.
Video,
Essentially
but
doing it.
Watch the beginning. I think Filipowski initiates this
we
contact.
we don't need sound on it, right? So let's just see it here.
Watch this.
Look.
I kind of think Filipowski initiated that
definitely
contact.
push that guy. What do you mean again? If somebody's run at you,
Well, yeah, it's
can't
fine.
push
I don't
him, but-
care. You push him, but
I'll find Shire here.
you gotta find the face that his head coach. John Shire made.
This is what, bro. I mean, if I'm the Duke player, or if I'm any player on the opposing team, I'm just going full self-defense. And if you get in my range,
and you can,
I'm jacking.
I'm taking the charge.
Like
That's
I ain't
fine.
taking a charge. I'm jacking you.
Right.
Who did that? Jermaine Burton did that.
Yeah, he did.
Yes,
That
yeah,
Tennessee-
remember? And I think he might have hit a girl. Which,
He
you know,
did,
maybe
but
maybe
yeah,
be a little more
she
discerning.
ran near him,
But you
and
know,
he-
you get I mean, I think he's maybe a little more discerning. But still, if I was an opposing player and the fans are running in front of me, I would
here we go.
probably because I'd be so mad as well. I would take every opportunity to.
you got to go all the way back to see his face.
Did he get wounded? Did 3 people carry him off? Like, what was that? A full convoy?
Well, and then also they originally said it was a high ankle sprain, and then he said it was a knee injury.
Okay, so it's probably going to be over then. Hour 3 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canavari. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Monday, February 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 79. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll kick things off with weekend winners at 9 a.m. And then Devin Snow, Hold the Mayo, joins us at 9:15. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch us in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back, OTB. Hour number 3. Hope everybody's having a great day. You probably teased Devin coming up, I'm guessing. Oh, and really listen. Sometimes Taylor talks just like
Yeah, he did.
in one ear out the other. Devin's not coming on today.
Day.
Wow. I forgot to tell y'all. My bad. He had to push back today. So he'll either be tomorrow or Wednesday.
Put it in the doc, T-Bob.
Ooh. What did I just say? I literally
Well, you were
just
trying.
took,
It sounded like you were blaming
I just
me.
took responsibility for it. I literally just said I forgot to tell you. Therefore, it's on me. someone of your intelligence may need it more spelled out. I feel like I want to give credit to most of the listening audience. They would have understood that I was saying that.
I just wanted to take an extra shot.
I feel like this is big for a position that you hold near and dear.
What's up?
Pro Football Focus just put out earlier today their top returning offensive tackles for the 2024 season. Coming in at number 1.
Will Campbell.
Will Campbell. Coming in at number 9.
Emory Jones.
Emory Jones.
Let's go.
2 top 10 tackles.
Let's go.
Of course, the only team with multiple players here with number 1 and 9, Campbell and Jones. And that is one of the big reasons why this offense feels like they're going to be successful, even though they're losing 3 first-round picks and one of those being a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, we did a Friday or Thursday last week. I'm sure you can find it on the OTB LSU YouTube channel. But we did kind of an entire breakdown of this, that probably the biggest impact that Brian Kelly has had, and Brad Davis, right? Because he was here pre-Kelly. But the biggest impact of the Kelly era thus far, and a lot of it was in retaining and empowering Davis and like seeing that, okay, no, this guy is the guy. But it's been the offensive line. I've never seen such a consistent runway of good as it appears that you have now. And now you're returning 2 top 10 bookend tackles. Like, you want to talk about things that help out a new quarterback when they're trying to learn how to play on the SEC level for the first time? Maybe even more so than great weapons. Having 2 tackles of that caliber is the single greatest resource that you could have.
And then you're wondering, like, how can you let a Lance Hurd go? It's because, like, he was coming in and wanting to be on the same level as both of these players, and I think he's going to be a really good player, but these players are already that. They're already top 10 tackles in the country coming back. Will Campbell is going to be, I think, the first tackle off the board in the next year's NFL draft. He's that kind of talent, and so where are you going to find a spot for him? Like, you're not kicking down Emory Jones, and that was always the idea. And all of us toyed with it. Hand up, me too. It's like, wait, what are you doing? No. This is a top 10 player at his position in all of college football. We're not just going to move him. Like, he solidified himself as one of the best right tackles in the entire country. So you look at that and you're like, it's really good. The health is good at that position. And so it's hard to give up NIL resources to someone that's not one of those 2 tackles. And then you continue to sign guys as well. So, yes, it stings because he is a talented player. It's going to play for, multiple years in the SEC. But when you look at who you have and who you've already signed coming up as well, like we talked about last week, it's in such good standing that you're going to use those resources in other places.
You have to trust you have to trust the coach's evaluation. Bottom line is Lance Hurd just meant more to Tennessee than he did to LSU. And the other bottom line is, if LSU truly believed that he was, LSU has no problem spending money, right? They've proven that time and time again. So, like, if they believed that they needed to go all out to keep him, that could have been done as well. So you have to trust you have to trust Brad Davis, like this, the same way that I just said trust to, you have to trust him, or the same, like, he's the same guy that created the biggest turnaround on this team, which is this position group now. And so, if he thinks that even though he's great, that the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and all right, I'll roll. I'll ride with that. Let's dive into some weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
Weekend winner, me. Because no kids were hurt at the tramp park.
You booty blasted.
Not
somebody.
hurt, though.
He cried. That's pain. That's emotional pain.
Fine.
I don't know.
Even worse, it wasn't even a he. It was a little girl. Oh. I know.
I mean, if you did it to Harlow, we might have to have a conversation outside.
What, is Harlow not tough enough to take it?
I mean,
she can't take a 270-pound booty blast?
Probably wasn't expecting it.
That's not very
and I'm not talking about
of her.
Well, you and I probably wouldn't have the conversation. Probably you and Katie.
I'll booty blast Katie as well.
I'd actually like to see that fight.
Hey, now. Yeah, no kids were hurt though. So weekend winner me.
All right.
Not the kids.
Not the kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't want to be the host of a party where some kid goes away with like a broken ankle or broken arm. And I love Tramp Parks, but I've also talked to multiple child pediatricians and or child orthopedists who say like, I don't allow my kids to go to those because trust me when I say that is where the vast majority of stuff that I deal with comes from.
Yeah.
I'm going to go weekend winner, even though it just happened earlier this morning. Everton, the football club that I follow that's near and dear to my heart. So they got docked 10 points, which, as you know,
That's
like
crazy.
for any club, for Everton, like that is almost like, are you going to get relegated because of it? I mean, 10 points is huge. And it was because of the Premier League's PSR rules. And so that's been actually reduced from 10 points to 6 points. And it shows you how massive that is. They went from 17th all the way up to 15th, and now they're 5 points clear of the relegation zone. And so
How many games do you play in EPL
that
season?
is massive.
Just a general range. General range.
30?
30. Okay, so 10 points. That's 3 wins and a tie. I mean, that'd be like, oh, you're 9-8.
Now you play more than 30. How many do you play?
Now you're 7 and 11. Like that's actually crazy. Or 7 and 10.
Yeah, I know they've played like 25 so far, so maybe the number's a little bit higher than 30. Either way, big win for them. And because Manchester City like gets away with this all the time, Everton, they don't fully get away with it because they still have to lose 6 points, but 4 points for the Toffees is probably going to keep them in the Premier League and not going to the championship when they're building a brand new stadium, and you wouldn't want to open that stadium in the championship.
London.
Weekend winner Brian Ortega, who won against Yair Rodriguez by submission in the third round at UFC Mexico City this weekend.
Oh, let's go.
Got his revenge after getting knocked out by him back in 2022. The only other 2 losses that Brian Ortega has is against Volk, who just lost the title to Topuria, and Max Holloway, who had the title.
Damn.
So to me, the next step is to see Ortega versus Topuria maybe in the summertime. I'd love to see
Title
that.
fight?
Title
You're saying?
fight.
Yeah, title fight. All right, let's go, dude.
In Spain. That would be cool.
How was the scene in Mexico City?
Oh
Crazy?
my God. So it's crazy, but I don't know if y'all saw, but there was a crowd fight in the crowd at UFC.
That one guy, the southpaw, the
he
final
should have won fight of the night. Like, they should have gave him the $75,000 bonus. He knocked out 2 people.
Yeah.
This is a crowd fight. And Dana White is like, I mean, they didn't do anything to stop it. I've never seen anything like it. And everyone's like, are we expecting Dana White to apologize for a crowd fight at UFC Mexico City?
Wait, just shorten that to, are we expecting Dana White to apologize?
Fair.
And
yeah.
the answer is...
That's fair.
No.
No, he is very unapologetic.
Dana White is that Conor McGregor meme, just 24/7.
Yeah.
Taylor, just I'm giving you runway here. Have the Cam Newton stuff, the video ready to go. Yeah, okay, cool. You're up.
Weekend winner for me is going to be Caitlin Clark. She had a triple-double yesterday. It was her 16th of her career, which puts her top 5 in NCAA history. She's also 51 points away from Pete Maravich's all-time record.
Weekend winner, Caitlin Clark. Weekend winner for me, Daniel Suarez. And look, I'm not the biggest NASCAR guy. I've gone through NASCAR phases like everybody does. But he won in Atlanta this weekend. But I don't know that I've ever seen a finish this close. As look at that shot right there if you're watching on YouTube. So it's a 3, that's full speed that they're going right there. It's a 3-wide finish, which are rare enough to begin with.
Right.
And to be this close, Daniel Suarez won this race by less than 1/100th of a second, less than a single 100th of a second. The truest photo finish you will ever see as he beats out Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch. That is an awesome picture, dude.
So are Mexicans weekend winners?
Yeah, sounds like it. Was the fighter who won in UFC Mexican? There you go. There you go.
Which one is he?
We're going to assume that Suarez is Mexican?
Well, yeah.
I would assume the blue.
That's what I was thinking, the blue, but I was like, technically all across.
So it is tough to see, right? But your instincts have served you well, Jake. Look at that LASIK done work, Bo. Blue was indeed the winner.
Think about that, how many miles that is, how many times around the track, and you come down to 3 people basically on the same exact moment on the line.
Incredible,
That's crazy.
dude.
It's the second best photo finish I've ever seen.
What's the first, Taylor?
Lightning McQueen on cars where he stuck his tongue out in one.
Fair.
I don't know. I actually go to Talladega Nights when they're running across the finish line.
Ashley in the chat also said the cars ending.
Okay.
For sure.
Weekend winner for me, LSU softball. They go 5-0 over the weekend.
What?
They
Again?
Yes, they beat Boise State twice, 3-2 the first time in 10 innings, 8-5 in the second game. They beat Houston 10-3, and then again 5-0, and then they beat Austin Peay. Imagine losing to Austin Peay. Couldn't be us. They win 11-0 in 5 innings.
And what, Sidney Berzon had like 4 shutouts in 5 games and just pitched her like every game? No, I'm just kidding. But how many times did she throw over the weekend? Do we know?
I think it was, I don't know for sure, but I think it was only twice.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're probably, I would assume, move up at least one spot
Got to.
in the top 25.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in front of them, but undefeated still and dominant over the weekend. And now they've got the Purple and Gold Challenge that's going to be in Baton Rouge as well against Illinois, San Diego State, McNeese, and I believe Louisiana Tech might be in that as well.
So Oklahoma is still undefeated, and they're number 1. And I want to say UT's number 2. I want to say they're still undefeated as well.
Yeah. No rest for the weary.
No.
Is that you wanting to just get in a Texas Longhorns undefeated?
No, you said I don't know what happened, but ahead. Yeah. Another weekend winner, our guy Hunt Palmer. Shout out to Hunt Palmer because Cody Bellinger has re-signed with the Cubs after being a free agent. He's got a 3-year, $80 million deal. So
and that's like a relatively cheap deal.
He was
there's
looking,
like opt-outs built in every year.
Yeah, he was looking for $200 million, but they were saying that
I am too. Couldn't find it.
Right. They were saying that his last year he had a really good comeback last year. They were saying he's a little fluky. So and he was a free agent, but the Cubs.
Well, I think
made a smart move, which is a little surprising out of that front office.
Chris Branch had he writes for The Athletic, LSU great, and he had a morning newsletter called The Pulse, and he had a pretty good breakdown of the fact that it's, Scott Boras is basically like the Jimmy Sexton of baseball, and so it's kind of surprising to see Bellinger come in at such a team-friendly deal, and getting one over on Boras potentially there. Although, likely he's just waiting till it improves next year or something that you can pay him. Taylor, winners? None. My next weekend winner. So our girl Ashley Megan in the chat on Twitter, I'm assuming it's the same Ashley, but she set off a battle on SEC Twitter over the weekend as weekend winner Ashley, LSU, and the battle for the moon. As LSU over the weekend became the first university to independently put technology designed by our students on the moon. LSU quite literally listed on the payload. And so now, suck it, rest of the SEC. LSU's logo currently on the moon. There's a moon landing over the weekend, and they designed something called Tiger Eye, which unfortunately I did not get fully the chance to understand. It had something to do with measuring radiation or something, but LSU students came up with it. And it's funny because you look at the payload and the agency/companies, it's Intuitive Machines, International Lunar Observatory, NASA, Louisiana State University, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Galactic Legacy Labs. But yeah, LSU currently in that thing. And it caused a lot of text changes like, we have astronauts. No, that's not what we're talking about. Okay?
Not what we're talking about.
Get the hell up out of here. LSU to the moon. It seems like we're good at space stuff. Right? We had the physics stuff and all the gravity discoveries we made last year, a couple of years ago. Look at that logo, Jake.
We're good at
Tiger Eye 1, dude. That
too.
thing's tight.
Yeah, I like it.
Suck it. Texas.
Elijah,
I have no, not
okay.
I'm just gonna have to take that every day. It's okay.
I should have done more research on the story. I just forgot about it till right now. I'm gonna look it up more because somebody landed on the moon for some reason this weekend.
I'm going to go weekend winner as we get closer and closer to March Madness, and it's something that we talk way more about college basketball in general, obviously in the afternoons. But you start to look at some of these teams that are positioning themselves to make a deep run, and I think it's highly impressive that Houston, T-Bob, and they beat Baylor over the weekend in overtime 82-76. They're 24-3 on the year, 11-3 in the Big 12. And why I want to shout them out is because they were coming from the American.
Yeah.
And now they have been a really good basketball team, and Kelvin Sampson's one of the legendary coaches in recent memory in college basketball. But you're going from the American to the Big 12, which was already the best basketball conference, and now you're atop that basketball conference. You're the number 2 team in the country. You play a style that's going to travel because even if shots aren't going in, you play a defensive style. It's one of the best. Actually, they are the best defense in the country by 3 full points. They're the best defense in the country, and it's impressive. Anytime you can go up in competition and go from the American, which is good basketball, to the best, and now you're still atop that conference, to me, it's a weekend winner in a team that is going to be very dangerous in March.
I guess, we're just, I fall guilty of just thinking about all the conference realignment in football terms.
Yeah.
And so it is crazy to watch them to go into a conference with Kansas and everybody else and now be sitting atop it.
Kansas and Baylor and Texas and all these teams. Kansas State had a really good year last year. They're a little bit down, but still.
Be nice to Texas. They're still trying to recover from the horns down incident from a few weeks ago.
Well, BYU, their coach, Mark Pope's remember he said that we didn't want to do the horns down.
Yeah, that's not what we do. They're brimming young.
Yeah.
You get kicked out of the school for the honor. I got a lot of thoughts on BYU thanks to Real World 2000.
Well, you have a lot of thoughts. There's no thoughts there, though.
That's true.
Remember you talked about it not long ago, the guy getting suspended in the NCAA tournament from BYU.
Yes, because he was having sex with his girlfriend.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro. That's wild. Should have been soaking.
A really quick
SBS.
weekend loser.
Yeah.
And I said this in the break before. The MLB
Wait,
uniforms.
You can't say Taylor. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that's a given.
You shouldn't. What did I do?
I'm sorry. You're right. That was just kind of a cheap, needless, not even that funny shot by me.
Nah,
I'll take
really
the L
funny.
on that one. I'll take the L on that one. That's cool. Got to take swings though. Got to take hacks. I'm sorry, Alondra. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. The MLB uniforms are an atrocity, and they
give the people some background here because we haven't talked about it on air, only off air.
Fanatics is who is doing the uniforms now for the MLB. So if you look at them, they're terrible.
Yeah.
Like the quality has gone down immensely. They look like Russell uniforms.
They look like the cheap Chinese knockoffs that you buy because they're cheap.
Yeah, they look terrible, and it's an atrocity, and it's a travesty, and it is so sad. The pants are see-through. It's nuts.
It literally. Who was the player in that one picture where
it was a Giants player. I can't remember who it was.
First you sent it to the group, and I'm like, it looks kind of bad. Like, I don't get it. And then I just glanced at it, going away from it. And then later on, I looked at it again, and no, you just see his testicles.
Yeah, there's a pretty bad one of
straight up
Shohei Ohtani, too. But, you can't.
Ooh, I want to look at Ohtani's nuts.
His nuts aren't out.
No curious. It's just.
His nuts aren't out.
His pants are so thin that you can see exactly where his jersey is.
Taylor has the Giants player.
I know you're curious.
But can we show that on YouTube?
We did.
It's YouTube.
Yeah.
Look at his tiny little nuts.
You flip off the camera all the time. It's the same thing,
Courtesy
right?
of John Boy Media.
Right. No FCC.
That's my favorite
Yeah,
baseball follow.
John Boy does a good job.
John Boy's great.
I know they try to do some other sports and maybe don't hit as much, but the baseball stuff is good.
Great,
the lip reading stuff is.
Wait, how do we arrive at a point though where Fanatics is making
they own the world.
Entire professional league uniforms?
It's like something with Nike and
Fanatics.
Nike designs them, and Fanatics actually does.
Them. Yeah.
I know. It's wild. They own the world, T-Bob.
What is that? Is East Bay going to do the NFL's uniforms?
Hey, don't play with my heart. Don't play with my heart.
Does East Bay still exist?
No. I don't think so.
Fanatics swallowed East Bay.
Fanatics owns all of that.
I never knew that,
you can't go buy anything that's not, you'll go to the team website, but it's Fanatics website. It just has the team banner on it.
What?
Yeah, it's wild. Weekend winner, because I'll forget. I want to shout out Bear Jones. He caught his shot over this weekend.
Let's do this. I want to do the Bear video because that deserves to be
right. But I want to make sure we put him
as
a winner.
Yes, I agree.
And we're going to play the video later on in the show.
And then I do want to, and I'll save my Cam Newton video for next segment as well. Right. We'll do Bear when we get back. Weekend winner though, absolutely Bear Jones.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Does anybody know who that's supposed to be? Y'all are probably too young. Zoidberg? Nobody? CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. 925-8552 is the number. Look, if you're a licensed plumber and you look, you want a better job, right? You want better wages. You want better binnings. You should explore Central Plumbing and what they can offer you. Send in your resume to j@centralplumbing.org or go to 225-925-8552 and just, again, see what they can offer you. If you're an apprentice, well, guess what? They have a great apprenticeship school that can help you finish, get across the finish line, and then you get the top wages in those full binnings. So they're hiring now. A couple spots available. Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552.
And when you go to the website, I ask you every single day to click on bathroom remodel just so you can see what they can do for you. And that's at your home or your business. That's, maybe one bathroom at home, maybe multiple restrooms at your job, whatever it is, they can handle that. Give them a call today. Set it up, 225-925-8552.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Bayou Ford has new 23 Ford F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995. $39,995 plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows, recapping a busy weekend out at the box. LSU, Mississippi State in hoops. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
This always reminds me of Tiger Stadium. But I feel like not a lot of people related with Tiger Stadium.
It reminds me of like one time.
They should though, because
we play like every
Tigers,
game.
jungle.
Well,
Yeah.
don't we play it every game?
Yeah,
I
you
think
play
so,
it probably.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost. I remember on the sidelines hearing it like all the time.
I'm just
But
so
it was
excited
so
that
popular.
the in-game experience is changing this year for Tiger Stadium, and I'm so glad. They're going to do some cooler things.
You're into the LED lights and all
Yeah,
that?
I'm an LED Andy. I am.
I'm just into something
Different?
different, new, keeping up with the time.
Yeah.
I'm all for the tradition of Tiger Stadium. Like, don't get rid of any of the traditions that you have that are staples. Like, I hate the fact that, and Peter's going to get mad, that Mike can't go in his cage anymore.
Yeah,
I love that.
I hate that too.
That was such an advantage for us.
Would you really want to force Mike in it?
Well, how come they can
Yeah,
take like
that's why he
Bevo
gets
out?
paid.
They could take.
That's why he has
That's
a better
his
house
job.
than
That's
I
why
do.
he has like all those great amenities in his habitat.
Look, if he wants to get in, let
Mike,
him
you
get
want
in.
to live? You want to live in this badass $4 million
Yeah,
house?
you better
$6 million, I
get
think.
your ass in the
once
cage,
a
bruh.
week. Once a week for what? 3 months? He does
Man,
it.
I can tell you,
I need to write this down. That could
Well,
be a
not
funny
even because he
video.
only does it for
Funny
home
video
games.
idea.
Yeah,
too, so less
exactly.
than
So
that.
not even.
Five
my
times a year?
teammates, like in the NFL that played in Tiger Stadium, they were like, bruh, when we came out of the locker room and there was a live ass tiger right outside of our locker room,
It's awesome.
like we knew it was going to be trouble.
Well, one of my favorite stories ever is from the John Ed Bradley "It Never Rains at Tiger Stadium" book, and he's talking about the USC 1978 game.
Yeah.
And this is during the time where not only would they force Mike in the cage, but I'm pretty sure they would like kind of poke him and like they piss him off basically, right?
Right.
They'd get him all riled up, and then they'd stick
Like
him.
a bull.
Yes, and then they get him. Yes, exactly. And they'd stick him right outside the opponent locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't help but
And
think.
he'd start growling.
Well, I couldn't help but think in a pre-internet age, right? Where
Is
I'm
it
sure
growling?
maybe you've seen things. I would consider more of a roar.
Roar,
but no,
right?
they have that growl for sure.
Yeah.
That purr growl. But like in a pre-internet age, where sure, I don't know, older people can speak better than me to it. But at that point, you probably seen tigers like in maybe like some National Geographic magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have some, maybe like on some TV movies, maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, you're a kid from LA. And you're in South Louisiana in 1978, and you come out in the locker room, and not only are there like all these crazy Cajun people yelling, but immediately when you come out there, there's a live Bengal tiger
So
roaring in your
intimidating.
face. That's wild.
That's
I
like
would be like, am I on an alien planet?
back in ancient times, like when Hannibal was like the first one to use elephants in war. And can you imagine if you've never seen an elephant?
Sure. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
No, it'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, like
Right. You don't even
this
know
gonna
those
be-
things exist.
So
How
Hannibal
mad
Hannibal wasn't necessarily he wasn't the first, but he did use them.
Yeah.
But that Philip and Alexander
Here
book
comes history, Bob.
as the Greeks went into India, there's a lot of stories about soldiers talking about that, where they're like,
Yeah.
what are these like these beasts all of a
Right.
sudden that we're being confronted with? Like, where the hell are we right now?
All right, this is not a rhetorical question. I just want your feedback here, everybody.
Okay.
What's the difference in putting Mike in a cage to having Bevo or
Right,
any
that's-
kind of
No,
other
it's a good
animal?
question. I'd actually never
like the
considered
Colorado
that.
buffalo.
Yeah.
That's what
like
I'm
the
saying.
Buffalo's a wild animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never.
You take
I'd never
Bevo out
considered
there,
that.
you take Uga out there.
Like Uga's I mean Uga's a dog, so
Yeah.
maybe a little bit different.
Right.
I mean,
Because
But
it's
you
a
the
pet.
take
real
Bevo.
animal cruelty is just
Like the-
bulldogs in general.
Like the
Right.
They're
Exactly.
they're inbred and have
Exactly.
incredible health problems.
Yeah.
Like, and you just keep doing it just because you like how they look.
Right.
Right.
And they're not even all that cute.
I mean, I
They're ugly cute. They're
kind
ugly
of do think
Yeah,
that.
they're like
I
E.T.
kinda-
They're
I kinda
E.T.
do
cute.
love. Yeah,
Bob,
they're
you
E.T.
remember-
cute. That's very
Yeah.
well said.
Speaking of Bevo, you remember a couple years ago, Texas and
attacked
Georgia were
Uga?
playing, and Bevo like charged Uga.
Yeah.
Bro,
Dude,
They had to,
Bevo's
like, pull
so
him back.
big.
Well,
what if
Yeah.
what if he had
So
just
big.
He's huge.
impaled Uga and
Live
we had an
on TV?
all-time viral video?
Well, I mean, how
That
much
would've
is a
been
dog?
wild.
Like, you
of a
could get the other
bulldog
one.
just
Yeah.
speared on this bullhorn.
Didn't that dog just pass
He just
away?
died.
Yeah, they
or
just
she,
got
I
a
don't
new
know.
one.
Winningest. He was the winningest Uga in Georgia football history.
Of course,
Hell yeah.
Of course they keep that.
Well,
Rip.
was he though?
What do you mean?
Like, he
Controversy
didn't
in the
actually
Uga?
win anything. Like,
No, okay, that's a bad joke. I thought you were gonna have some better
Yeah, me too. I
payoff.
thought
than
you
that.
Yeah, I
no,
thought
like
I
he
was
just
like,
didn't
what's
win
the
anything.
angle here? No,
but I'm saying, like, why does he get
no.
credit for the wins?
No,
Like,
because he was
the
the mascot
winner.
during the games, Taylor.
He brought the vibe.
I hope your migraine comes back right when you're on air during
It-
Hunt. I'm just
it
kidding.
ain't
I
went
really
away.
don't. Taylor's fighting hurt today. He's fighting through a migraine. That's big time. We do appreciate
Oh,
it.
I'm good.
Bilbo said because a tiger can climb a tree. No, I'm not saying keep him out in the pen.
Yeah.
Just like leave him
No,
out.
you
Yeah,
gotta
why
put it
can't
in.
Mike just lead the team out like the
That
Buffalo
would be-
Why
does in
can't we?
Colorado?
Right.
Why
yeah,
can't
I'm
we?
just saying, like, I'm not saying let him lead the team.
I mean, look,
I'm
you
sure
know,
he's better trained than a wild tiger.
I don't want to say that we've gotten soft as a society.
We have.
But back in the Aztec days,
have.
they would do human sacrifice to get pumped up.
Yeah.
Like if you lost, you got killed. So why aren't we at least sacrificing one child per game?
They'd roll people's
feed them
heads
to
off.
Mike, put them in the opponent's mascot's uniform, feed him to Mike, get the crowd juiced up.
Yeah.
Then go out there and win an SEC game.
I think attendance would go through the roof if you did that, right?
Exactly.
You want engagement? Cody Worsham, online engagement numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Ritual child sacrifice.
Problem is you couldn't do it till the second half because people would still leave at halftime.
Will go very viral. That's your hook
You
for
came
getting
back.
people
Yeah,
to
you
stay.
came back.
That's your hook for getting people to stay back.
Yeah, you got to wait till the second half. There's a sacrifice coming.
Oh,
They used
man.
to literally roll kids' heads off of pyramids.
You know what they do? They should do, like the baby crawling race?
Yeah.
They do the baby crawling race
With
the last-
alligators?
The loser gets it.
The last baby gets eaten.
You just hate kids, don't you?
Dang, I know, over here.
You found that out today.
Booty blasting.
I told, we were at the zoo yesterday, and I told my friend's daughter, because we were at the tiger exhibit, and there's like a little paw print. She's like, look, tiger paw print. She's like, ooh, tiger must be outside his cage. I said, you better be faster than me, because I'm running.
Yeah. You just got to outrun the person slower.
Yeah, you ain't got to be first.
Yeah.
You just can't be last. That's it. And you're good to go. To be clear, we don't actually stand for ritual child sacrifice on the show.
No, I try to bring kids into this world, not out of the world.
Yeah.
Sure.
So.
Sure. And to also be clear, I don't know that I want to force Mike in the cage if he doesn't feel like going.
I know. I didn't say force.
But no, that's no. They open it to him every week. He has the choice to go
Not
in.
anymore. They used to.
Not anymore.
No.
Oh,
No, they shut it down completely.
They bent the knee to PETA.
Yeah.
Which
Remember,
first
there
off,
was a time,
they
T,
did not
when it
have
was,
to
yeah.
do that. LSU, Mike the Tiger does not go on the field because LSU chooses to not put him on the field.
And he should.
Do you remember the last time Mike got in the cage?
It was probably 2010, maybe.
It was after that. It was before that McNeese game that got canceled due to lightning. And it ended up keeping LSU
Was
for a
that
10-win
14,
season. Like
15?
14, somewhere around there.
So it was.
He got in, he took a lap around, and now what we realize is that was an omen. It was almost like there are some dark times coming for a little bit here. That game gets canceled. It keeps you from 10 wins. The next season, Miles ends up fired 4 games into the year. You're 2-2. Mike was the harbinger of massive change, and that was the last time that he rode around, dude.
That was the one where they played so LSU ran 3 plays, then punted, and then right after the punt, they took everybody off the field. That's that one, right?
If that's a McNeese game, they got canceled by
I'm
lightning.
pretty sure. Yeah. They actually played the first series.
LSU went 3 and out and punted, and then the game got. That sounds perfect.
No,
Miles
that's
Harris.
exactly what happened.
Was Brandon Harris the quarterback, right?
If you went 3 and out, probably. I was sitting
that's not
there.
fair to him. That's fair to any quarterback.
Exactly. Again, all quarterbacks should be, given a little grain of leeway there.
That was one of the first games I took Victoria to. They made us sit under the the little concession stand area for like 2 hours, and finally I told her, I was like, let's leave. I was like, they're not redoing this. We just went and ate somewhere after and went home.
I did pre and post game for CST during that time, and we had done the pregame show obviously, and then hour and a half in, I'm like, if y'all do a pregame show, y'all let me know how it goes. I'm back to Shreveport. I'm getting out of here. I ain't sticking around till 1 a.m.
No, hell no, not for LSU McNeese.
No.
All right, when we get back, I have a lot of thoughts on Real World New Orleans, and I want to get to them. More to be coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You want to join the All-Star family? Well, I would encourage you to. If you want to buy new, used, maybe lease a Toyota vehicle, and remember, those Toyota certified used vehicles, you still get warranty and stuff. And you already know, bro, when you talk about Toyota, they stand the test of time. Tundra, Camrys, at least Camry for a while was great. But I love that Sienna. Anyway, also Toyota Baton Rouge, go check out the service center today. All makes and models welcome. Mention OTB, get $100 towards the deductible. Also Toyota Baton Rouge.
You good? A little nervous there.
I just need a deep breath.
Okay. You're going to need a deep breath when you see these prices at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Blow you away. Going to take your breath away, if you will.
Oh, crap.
That's buying new, that's leasing, and that is renting as well. I'm nervous for
We were, no, he said we weren't supposed to talk about Bear Jones and Cam Newton. We were. Maybe we'll actually do that next.
I'll start at banter.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canavari. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, reacting to LSU and Mississippi State basketball, 4 games of baseball at Alec Box Stadium. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN.
Bear Jones, we don't need audio with it, right? Yeah, just play it.
It's him mouthing.
It's just music. So. Yeah. Okay, so Bear Jones, when is this, Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is during the domination of the revenge against the Seawolves on Sunday. As the LSU bats heat up, Bear Jones has been, he's been awesome. And this is one of the cooler videos. Taylor, you got to play the video. I can't keep talking about it much longer. So he looks over the camera, says, "I'm about to homer," as he's snapping up his gloves, smiles, and then what does he go up and do? Goes up and freaking smashes it. Deep left center, nails it, and then as he gets back, looks at the camera and says, he did get the GAT for the video that Stony Brook made. And then he looks back in the camera and says, "I homered." I never hit a single home run in my life, so I cannot imagine how good it feels to call your shot and quite literally follow through.
Hold up, T-Bob.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk about it.
Not one?
Not one out the park.
So no, inside the park does not count.
I know.
In Little League.
The one that I would have, it was the one day that we played on the high school park. It was so annoying. the one home run I ever would have hit. But alas.
It was long enough for you.
Yes, like it hit like the high school warning track or something.
Yeah,
It freaking flew. It would have been just moonshot. But no, I never hit one. It bums me out, man.
I'm trying to think, like my favorite home run. I don't know. I played with friends growing up, and like if you had like a best friend that played on the other Dixie League team, and you hit one off him, like that was always fun. Hit one off childhood friend in high school. That one was fun because he fooled me on the pitch, like wholeheartedly fooled me, and I just somehow the bat just hit it right, and it went over the fence.
Oh, Danny girl, who did better, Bear Jones calling a shot or Angel trash talking on camera before free
So
throws?
I just sent that to the group. I had just seen that this morning. Apparently, there's somebody from Tennessee that's talking trash to her, and she kind of stops and looks over like, "Who are you talking to?"
You? Like, huh?
She says, "Who are you talking to?"
Who is?
And then it's like, I don't know for 100% certainty, but it looks like, because you ain't talking to me like that, whatever it is. And then she obviously goes and makes the free throw, and Tigers win by 15.
Accutemp of Baton Rouge. Remember, AC heat and electrical needs. You want Accutemp. AC. It's firmly AC season, guys. It's warming up. Felt incredible outdoors. Remember though, February. You got 3 days left since you got an extra one thanks to the leap year. Right now, you want a whole home generator. You go to Accutemp. You get $1,500 off. You get a free surge protector as well. Hence the February promotion. You're also going to experience, get that estimate, right? Have them in your home, get the free estimate, and start to really, because like in doing so, you start to see the customer service firsthand, and you see why service to the highest degree is not just a good pun, but it's like a core mission statement that is at the center of everything that they do. You're going to be, you're going to be just flabbergasted, gobsmacked with how good the service is. February, rolling around, AC, heating, electrical, UN Accutemp of Baton Rouge. The other video I wanted to play from over the weekend, this is Cam Newton at a 7-on-7.
This is in Atlanta, right?
This is in Atlanta, and I don't have the full context here. There is a video of one of the guys who ends up getting his ass beat, talking trash before. We don't need sound here either, so you can go ahead and run it. But some guys thought they were going to jump Cam Newton. And maybe even more dumb, deciding to jump Cam Newton while he's dressed as a pilgrim. And when you think about pilgrims, you're talking about some of the most resilient human beings that have ever existed. And it turns out, I don't care how many people you have, you're not 6'5", 250 pounds.
An elite athlete.
And as everybody on Twitter has made the joke, this is quite literally how Cam Newton won a natty. Single-handedly.
Yes.
And so 3 guys try to jump him. They're like coming in with like cheap shots from the outside, and Cam Newton doesn't even look phased.
No.
He's controlling all 3 guys at once the entire fight.
Brock Purdy could never.
Never. Really? No, for real though. Actually true though. Brock, this is not a fight manager at work here. Yeah. Also, why does everybody disrespect Cam at these camps so much?
I don't know.
Remember like the video a couple of years ago, some little snot-nosed kid like talking trash to him, like this ain't like an NFL MVP, like the hell up out of here.
Cam talking trash back though, in my opinion, was more cringe.
What?
Like he's a little kid, man. Just leave him alone. Who cares?
Nah, this little kid catches his hand. Show some respect for your elders, you little dumb kid. I'll make you eat dirt.
Kids don't get consequences.
Brad Taylor, if you're not in that situation, when I went back and watched Phillip Rivers this year play high school football, every kid on the other team was trying to talk trash to Phillip, not the other players. Like they were coming to the sideline trying to talk trash to him. You open that door up, you're going to get talked right back to.
So
Phillip's an elite trash talker.
One of the best.
Elite.
Daggone. I was such a turd. I was being such a turd out there. Yeah, okay, to be clear though, I don't think that was an adult. The dude with the dreads that Cam was whooping up on was an adult that they now have on video talking trash before the fight about how something about how they've got it on film. Was he claiming to be a better quarterback than Cam?
I don't know.
That he's got a better 7-on-7 team or something? I don't know, bro.
I mean, Cam literally drags him.
Yeah, like a child. Like a child.
I mean, what are we doing? We're right here 7-on-7. Y'all trying to make a name for yourself fighting Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Like
SMH, weekend losers, those kids or those guys.
Those are men.
That's what I mean. Those men.
Men.
Those men with your big old
No,
backpack.
men don't do that.
Like elite. Like I have seen too many like elite fighters, like Sean Jordan. When you try to like go 3 deep on him on Fred's, just know he's going to have a plan.
Okay,
he's going to have a plan. He's going to grab one. He's going to swing on the others with the other hand, and he's still a better fighter than you.
Is that Cam's hair hanging out the top of his hat? What kind of hat is this?
It's a stove top with the top cut out.
Yeah,
it's a pilgrim's hat with the top cut out.
It's very witch vibes.
Bro, the hat doesn't even move. That's how little damage they did to him.
Yeah.
The hat's still
like it looks fake.
All right, when we get back, let's close out the show. Ask the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K to Z Windows covering.
I just saw that.
Mac 34, get off him. He's late to the first Thanksgiving. Yeah, he's got to get there, dude. K to Z will never be late. They come out to your home.
They won't.
You get Brandon Barton out there, and he's going to take your home to the next level. And say, T-Bob, window coverings? Yes. Because it's not just aesthetics. There's a massive functional aspect to this, both in terms of light management, heat management, whether it's an outdoor living space, an indoor movie room, master, kid's bedroom, whatever the case may be. Okay? The experts at K to Z have been at this for over 2 decades. And so if you need window coverings that wow, and it's all price points. So if you got like a starter home that you just want to improve, or this is a home of your dreams and you want to maximize it, you want K to Z window coverage.
My boy Huddy Paul's trying to watch Blue Beetle yesterday. It's right around lunchtime. Bright as heck in the living room. We put the shade down outside. It shades the entire living room. That's what you're going to get, KTZBlinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Happy New Year from your friends at Front to Back Boat Service. And what better way to kick off your new year than by taking your boat to the next level? Get the boat of your dreams, and that's where Front to Back comes into play. You want that spot lock trolling motor that's going to keep you right there on the water where you need to be. How about some forward-facing sonar that actually shows you the fish before you even cast? Custom stereo jobs, all of it. Sherman family's been doing it for 38 years. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows, recapping a busy weekend out at the box. LSU, Mississippi State in hoops. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
This would be my walk-up song, dude. Guaranteed. Join MMR and ignite your career. Remember, MMR is the largest privately owned electrical instrumentation contractor in the nation. You can keep playing. So you get talented individuals to join the team. Over 3 decades, MMR has been headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, but they got offices all over the globe. And at MMR, they offer a tailored path for both professional and personal development. You couple that with outstanding benefits and a dynamic culture. And, well, look, whether you're a student seeking an internship, beginning your career, or a seasoned pro, MMR offers a variety of positions just for you. Build your future with MMR. Apply now, mmrgrp.com. Engineers, construction managers, all of it. Go apply now. It's awesome, dude. It's incredible. All right, Ask the Bench, right by Cold Curse Light, Visit Our Children, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Wheat. Ask the Bench, favorite playbook for NCAA football? I don't know. I mean, I haven't played in so long. It'd be fascinating to see what some of the new playbooks are. Who would have the most interesting offense in college football right now? I mean, Lanes would probably be up there.
I used to use the Florida Tebow offense. Like, I would put it as my team. I would never play as Florida, but I used to use that offense. Make like a running quarterback, do the quarterback power.
I used to just do anything that had the option. I just loved running the option in NCAA. So any option-based offense is always my favorite.
Oregon's would be fun.
I'm going to be
a lot of read
really, and I'm sure they were already getting there in 2014, Jake. But I'm going to be real interested to see how advanced they have just simple like zone read concepts.
Right.
Like, are we actually going to be reading ends? Do I hand it? Do I take it? Do I throw it? Like, surely that has to be in there. And if handled correctly, that could actually be great for kind of educating football knowledge. And maybe that was already there in 14 and I missed it. I mean, I know they had zone read and you could hand it or keep it, but you could take that even to a further level.
Well, back in 08, 07, if you use the Arkansas offense, you got to run the Wildcat because like the Darren McFadden offense. So like that one was fun too.
Ask the Bench, favorite brand of smoked sausage? I don't think I have like any brand loyalty there.
Down Home Meats.
Okay.
Out of the 31831 Great.
I like a lot of Irish Jeans meats. Ask the Bench. Did y'all see y'all's Twitter? Would y'all want neck played in NCAA 25 in LSU? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And then you could control it where, you wouldn't have, again, I don't mind the STDB, but you could control it where that's not there. So, yeah, definitely. As a bench, describe your perfect omelet. I haven't eaten an omelet in years. I used to get them all the time, and I was always just a ham and cheese guy.
I like spinach, mushrooms, chicken, egg white.
I would go with, I liked every bit about that except I don't love mushrooms. I'd eat it in stuff. I'd eat it in that, but I don't love mushrooms. Well,
love mushrooms. Well,
not that kind of mushrooms.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Ask the Bench. When is Hester going to be an assistant under Philip Rivers at St. Michael's and Fairhope?
Maybe next year. I don't know.
Ask the Bench.
I'd actually have to do it if I was going to do that. I'd have to do it right now because my son's about to be in high school.
Yeah. You got to go to those games.
Yeah.
Favorite outside game to play with friends as a kid?
Hide and go seek tag.
Yeah. I think that's probably it for me as well.
Wiffle ball.
Actually, mine would probably be.
That's a good one too.
Love wiffle ball.
Tackle the person with the football. We used to call it a different name that now I realize is not very acceptable.
The other name was Crush the Carrier.
I know which one you're
Crush the Carrier is a much kinder way of saying that.
I know what you're. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was my favorite one growing up. Favorite non-traditional pizza. I love when it's got like corn, honey, and like barbecue chicken on it.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, the ones at Lit where you like build them yourself. I just put some crazy stuff on it.
Anything with the ricotta?
I don't think any of that fast food pizza's not good, but that's just.
Oh, Jesus.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
It's not.
Hold your pinky in the air.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's great.
Okay. Great?
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
It's pretty dang good.
I'm sure T-Bob has somewhere over in
whatever you
Mid-City.
say. It's no Rejuve Me Medical. RejuveMeMedical.com. They are great and awesome. They're going to make you feel younger. And where you got andropause, menopause, facial aging, mood and memory problems, energy problems, rolling out of bed with the energy you used to have, rolling into bed with the confidence and energy you used to have. All of this, you got like weight gain. You're not seeing the results from your workouts anymore. These are all the effects of untreated aging. And at Rejuve Me, you're going to get your labs drawn for free, get that free consultation, and they're going to find a customized plan for you. Maybe it's semaglutide, maybe HRT, maybe not. Your body's a guide. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me.
Yeah, the consultation set up on the website, RejuveMeMedical.com, top right corner of that website, and find out what's going on with you and get on a plan for success, RejuveMeMedical.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.